what it's all about. That's 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 what footy's all about. That's what footy's all about.
Port Melbourne and Werribee have won their way into the grand final in nail-biters.
45 metres out. Here's the breakthrough. Game, set and match.
Through to the grand Melbourne. 2 goals to Oscar Harkins, and what a telling one in what has been a remarkable game of football.
Power. Oh, good evasion. Matt Power to Jack Aziz. Siren time. Jack Aziz to win the preliminary final for Werribee. It's a goal! Werribee are into the grand final with the last kick of the day. Jack Aziz does it.
Which will win the grand final? The irresistible force of 93 Port Melbourne, or one of only 2 teams to have beaten them this year, the comeback kids, Werribee. We've had some cracking finals in the 93 final series for the VicSafe Cup. I'm sure the grand final will be no exception. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a heavy Princess Park Carlton for the big one between Port Melbourne and Werribee. Port lost just 2 games for the season, and Werribee have done it the hard way, playing 3 games in the finals to Port's 1 to play them in the grand final. The teams are out on the ground. Here was Werribee having a bit of trouble breaking through their banner, but they went through as one. They're 20. Led out by Donald McDonald, the captain coach in his first year as a coach in senior football, closest to the camera there with the tracksuit top on. Damien Drum, his opposite number, also first year senior coach, non-playing, so maybe that might be some sort of an advantage. The conditions, though, as you can see, very heavy, might just even things out, because Port Melbourne certainly are the favourites, and here they are going for their 16th grand final. They're the most successful team in VFA competition. Just when you thought it was safe to be in the final, said the banner, we're back, and it was no barrier for Jack Love there, leading out this Borough lineup. And they certainly have set the agenda this season. They won the first 8 games in a row this year before Werribee beat them in round 9. Only one change from the second semi-final team. Michael Tout into the back pocket for Howard Cameron. His collarbone injury means that Port Melbourne has lost one of the quiet achievers of its back line. I asked Damien Drum, how much will that superb defence miss him?
Yeah, it is a big loss. We, you notice all the boys are wearing the H on the hand for Howard, so he's an integral part of our club and our team. We've switched a few things around to make sure that we don't miss Howard too much on the ground. But no, he's a class player. He's a next best and fairest winner here at Port Melbourne, and he's very highly regarded both as a footballer and as a guy.
Well, you played for Werribee when they lost the grand final in 1991. Being at Port Melbourne now, the weight of history, have you felt it, you know, going for the 16th flag?
No, not really, because all these boys are going for their first, you know, and we've had guys here that have been here for 10 years with Ashley Hicks and Steve Harkins, and a lot of other guys that have been there in 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 years, and they just want it for the first time. And I think that the tradition part of it will only come into play after we've won today, if we win today, and if we are good enough to get up today, then forming part of such a fantastic club history will just make it a little bit sweeter.
Werribee are unchanged from last week, but 5 changes from the second semi-final team, which lost to Port Melbourne by 11 points. Wilson and McPherson, the important additions. Well, they nearly won from 6 goals down at half-time, Werribee, in that second semi, and then they won from 17 points behind Springvale just before time on in the last quarter of the preliminary final. I put it to Donald McDonald that someone up there might be on the Tigers' side.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping. I mean, I'm a Catholic, and I said to Jack, I think it's JC, and he goes, no, it's Arla. So whoever it is, I hope he's on the right side today. So, I mean, I think last week, that's right. I mean, we just had a bit of luck, and things fell our way. And I'm sure, as I said, if Springvale are in our position, I think they put in the same sort of an effort. So we've just got to get out there and make sure we win it.
Tim Harrington in the ruck seems to have been a catalyst for your comebacks in the last 2 games. Tempted to start with him there today?
Nah, Dave Alday's our ruck. I mean, Dave was great last week, and I think it was just when I actually went into the ruck last week for Dave, and I mean, after about a few throw-ins, I thought, oh, what have I done here?
You've been giving away a few free kicks on those throw-ins.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Timmy's gone in there just as an emergency thing. I think both times they've been emergency situations, but in an ideal world, we prefer that Tim play at fullback and Dave in a ruck.
What about their forward line? Their height seemed to trouble you in the first half in the second semi.
Yeah, it did. It did trouble us early, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a factor today because of the conditions. And we've got guys. We've got a bit of height now with Lesapati and Wright back there at the moment. So and Connell obviously he plays tall. So obviously.
Will he play on Munch, who gave him a run around early?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think Wright will probably play on him if they line up like that. It all depends how they line up at this stage.
The 2 teams have come together on Princes Park for the playing of the national anthem. Everyone be upstanding. The Victorian Police Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you all be upstanding for the Australian national anthem to be sung by Constable Dana Jowley.
Well, Dana out front of the police band there. I think she plays with their rock band during the week as their lead singer, and the teams gratefully now break up to get a feel of the conditions and to take their positions for the big one. We've had 2 grand finals already, and Port Melbourne have already been victorious. In the under-19s, they defeated Williamstown quite comfortably by 39 points. So the Boroughs have 1 on the board. In the reserves, Sandringham were victorious. They've been just about the team to beat all season, especially when their seniors missed out on defending their premiership. Sandy had a strong side. Box Hill made the running early on, but Sandringham going over the top of them. Many more scoring shots to win by 42 points. So the captains will be shortly joining with one of the icons of the game who's decided to call it a day. Barry Round, coach of Williamstown, former Goss medalist in the grand final in their premiership year of 90. He's going to toss the coin. And, well, I hope it doesn't stand on its end because it is a fairly soft surface. We had rain just prior to the start of the under-19s game, and it didn't stop until just before midday. But it's been fine since. A bit of sunshine as well, a little bit dark and threatening, but I think the prediction is about 4 o'clock before the rain will come. I wonder if the game will be won by then. If it's anything like it's been this September, it won't be. Phil Cleary, Sam Kekovich, welcome.
Welcome, Peter, and welcome, Philip. What a big day, hey?
Well, it is, Sam. I mean, the finals football so far has just been full of drama after drama. There's another variable today in the weather. The questions asked will be along the lines of whether Port's pace will be blunted in the heavy going, how the man-ups turn out in the particular game. I think they're very important. But we're in for a really interesting 2 hours of football.
Who's going to win it?
I think Port, they're the form side, but not by much.
I think it promises to be one of the great grand finals. Both sides boasting a wonderful array of talent, and there is a pocket of opinion that their skill level and pace will be blunted because of the inclement weather, and they might struggle a bit with their height up forward. But I still think that Port have all the necessary armoury.
Barry Round to toss. Ross Booth.
Well, Donald's called, and Donald McDonald's won the toss. Now he's kicking into the breeze, and so Jason Love, Port Melbourne side, kick to the left, and the ground conditions, Peter, are actually very good.
You say he's decided to kick into the wind, Ross.
Well, I noticed in the seconds the scoring end was to the right, but earlier in the day it was to the left. And just speaking to Barry Round, he feels the wind advantage is to the left. And the conditions, and I heard you talking about the heavy ground, there's been a lot of rain, but it's firm. It's much firmer than even Moorabbin. Just a little bit sticky in that centre wicket area.
Okay, well, that says that the standard should be, well, commensurate with the talents of the two teams.
But it's not a fast track, Peter. It's soft enough for Werribee to be in there if they can play really physical football and shut down the likes of Harkins and Bailey and James, doing with a chance the Bowden brothers at midfield, Sam. Very important where the little blokes are.
When you do a comparison of the midfield, you look at Clohessy, Bowden and Donald opposed to Rennett, of course Wilson, and of course you've got on the other wing probably the best winger of all is Cullen. So that will have an overall huge bearing on the outcome of this game.
Sam, Port Melbourne. There they were in a huddle. They have never won a premiership, any of those players. Werribee, they were here back in 1991. Admittedly not under Donald McDonald. They lost that game in a close one to Dandenong, but 5 survivors from that team. You've got Jack Aziz, who played in a grand final last year. He's played in a winning team. Tim Remnitz has played in 2 for Coburg. That experience on a day like this, how important?
Yes, it does, Peter. It's a valid point, and it certainly does count for something. And they'll have a steadying influence on, especially the early moments of a grand final. You know, you need cool heads prevailing and a bit of direction established, and that element in the side is of vital significance, and I'm sure that would have been pointed out by Donald McDonald to one of the players there on screen, and certainly of, you know, there's big expectations of Jack Aziz here on screen, the focal point of the Werribee forward line, and if he can get on top early, well, their fortunes will soar.
Well, he has kicked 97 goals this season, so 3 away from the ton. That's in 18 games. He kicked 97 goals in 66 games with Williamstown, so he's really loved being full forward this year. The umpires for the big one, Mark Nash and Darren Agnew with the red hair with his back to us. Thumbs up between the 2 men in white. There'll be a few nerves there as well.
Oh, yes, the opening minutes of a grand final is something special, Peter and Philip. Yeah, we've both been through it before, and there's always that testing period in the initial opening 2 or 3 minutes, and I can see players already starting to niggle each other and trying to establish some form of ascendancy and a bit of authority, that psychological advantage.
Donald McDonald's called out the runner already. He spotted some match-up. There's a push and shove on at half forward for Port, just to the left of screen. Connell there is on Munch. There's a putty on Crimes. Grand final, VFA Vic Safe Cup for 93. Port going from right to left. Rayburn, the first possession out of the middle for Werribee, but there's David King, the dashing half-backer, kicking it out wide for Adam James. What's offering him? Harkins called for it, but he goes long instead, and it was a good option. It's Steins. Oh, there's some nerves. Just 21 years of age, Brian Steins. Harkins from Love, but it was out of bounds.
See, Harrington has the job on Love, Peter, and Wilkins is picking up Steins. It's an interesting match-up.
Yes, Lizard Putty and Crimes. Centre back, centre forward. Cullen and Donald, one of the real highlights, that clash across midfield.
All day's tap, but there's James. Caught by Connell. And a big day for Neil Connell, number 46. For Werribee, with the now defunct Brunswick Broadmeadows before going to Werribee, and here he is playing in a premiership. Perhaps James hoping he will be. Ross Booth.
Yes, a lot of nerves. Players having a go at me. What's the delay? They just lined up too quickly. That's how nervous they were. Now Werribee through Rayburn. Got a high one out to Wilson. McPherson in support. Rhett Bowden got in the way, and pretty tough early on in the grand final. Clohessy there with Sean Bowden with his arm strapped, his left elbow. One of the 2 sons of Michael Bowden, former Richmond player. Up goes Munch, 34, with All Day coming from the back. Quick kick from Rennitz to half forward. Button caught behind Kieran, one of that strong half back line.
Yeah, wonderful half back line, Ross. Kieran, Moylan, and of course the running David King, a springboard of many of Port Melbourne's attack.
Interesting there too, Sam, to see Peter Lamont has trying to take King out of the game, right down to the forward pocket. Good move.
He's certainly conscious of his running prowess, Philip.
Rayburn's kick off the ground. Richard Geary.
Rusty.
There's 2 of them coming at him, so he's quite happy to lose it.
Ross, the atmosphere at ground level must have been phenomenal. Sounded terrific up here, but you were right down among it all.
Yes, and certainly the crowds involved and the players very edgy. Damien Drum particularly so. Off the ground by Geary. Towards McDonald. Got a high one. Played for it. Deserved it. 80 metres from goal. Aziz claiming he was held. Barlow right with him. Oh, and Aziz put Barlow down. He's on the ground, on his back, Paul Barlow. I don't know how strong it was. He might be faking it, but it doesn't look like it. Meanwhile, Werribee up towards Button. Couldn't quite grab it. Jack's got a high one.
And that's the square up.
It was Donald.
Pretty rugged football at the moment.
Well,
Paul Barlow is a key player.
I'll tell you, before the game, I was speaking with Stretch Anderson, dual listed medalist, and he said the only way Aziz will beat Barlow is if he knocks him out in the first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're calling for the doctor immediately around Paul Barlow, the trainers. I think he might be concussed.
Michael Tout on the bottom there, underneath Donald McDonald.
Of course, we have the order off rule in the VFA, but it has to be seen by the umpire, of course.
Here's the free to Jack from Donald, a bit high, definitely. And Jack's got one, so the full back and the full forward.
Paul tempers flared here.
Well, Barlow has just been supreme at fullback this year. And Aziz is over there beside him.
Gee, they'll be looking... Oh, Aziz will be a marked man for some time. I see Jack Love up there now. Anything could happen here.
And a stretcher out for Paul Barlow. Well,
that's not the way we want to see a game of football start.
Now,
didn't see it myself, but you can see the consequences of it.
Look at this. Aziz is going to kick for goal right where Barlow has been hauled to his feet, so that might be a positive sign. I'm sure he'll do everything with his power to stay out there. He looked like he wanted to get back at Aziz there.
John Lamont coming to just settle down Jack Aziz. He had a bad second semi, kicked poorly. On form last week. Big Jack, well, he's missed. He started as he did 2 weeks ago. And they're giving him some hurry up.
Well, he went down there, but it was a bit of an autumn leaf effort, I think.
High drama here at Princes Park. Well, the first side that settles down after this will no doubt win the game.
Well, Dave King is going to take it from fullback and run with it. That's what he does best. Munch in good position. Connell there matched him for pace. And Barlow moving around. So maybe he is not out of it.
But he's off the ground though, Peter.
Yes.
Well, he's in trouble.
Aziz kicked 9 in that round 9 win for Werribee against Port. Barlow was out injured. Oh, there's a high one on McMaster.
Now,
Port have just got to settle down.
Yes, the umpire's got to take control, Peter.
Umpires Darren Agnew and Mark Nash. Over Lamont's head. Loose ball. Button first there. Well, that was good, strong work of the ball. I think it was Tout who heads towards the line.
Yes, there's no doubt the first side, the instructions will be coming fast and furiously from the bench, telling players from both sides to settle down and make the ball the object.
Oh, it's under the goal square.
Dean Crimes has put down Aziz in the square. He's all right. Play goes on. Grabbed by Sean Bowden. It's all happening. Still in the square. Up to half forward.
David King was the cool head there.
Loose ball. Down goes Williams, one in the back. And Peter Williams gets the free at half back.
And if I was Jack Aziz, I'd keep in view of the umpires because he'll get a free kick.
Williams going towards McDonald. Spoil from Moylan, youngest player for Port Melbourne, youngest on the ground. Here's Edwards. Donald. Rhett Bowden. Could have gone to that a little bit harder. Here's his brother Sean coming in.
Yes, Dean Crimes is filling in for Paul Bard, full back, so the centre half forwards, there he is, number 4.
Just shaped up Marcus at Queensbury too. Dean Crimes wanting to take them on.
All day, couldn't get that one. Wilson, 44, couldn't control it. Bowden got a high one from Rod McPherson. That's Rhett Bowden, and he'll take the free kick on centre wing.
First free kick for Port, 4-1, the free kick tally in Werribee's favour. All Werribee here. Richie Rayburn having an influence already.
Yeah, an important integral part of the Werribee lineup. One of the running players.
One of
the pack.
5 players who played in the losing grand final in 91. Kicked it straight into the tallest man on the field, Eric Munch, at 200 centimetres.
I sort of saw the Aziz Barlow incident out of the corner of my eye. And I think Barlow's problem is probably in the rib region, sort of a backhander or an elbow to get rid of the full back. So it depends how bad those ribs are, I would reckon. Sean Bowden missed by James, a hand pass. Advantage paid. Bailey. Gee, there's some water there at half forward. Little chip kick in towards Harkins. Sean Bowden feeds it out. Klahesi quickly on the left foot. Up towards Love. No free kick. Bailey. First goal to the Borough. Justin Bailey.
Well, a smart bit of play by Port Melbourne. It just shows you how adept they are at ground level, those smalls. They thrive on a half opportunity, and that's all that presented itself. See the quick kick from Klahesi up forward to Jack Love. I thought he could have been in receipt of a kick, but no, grand final.
It may have thought to advantage there, Sam. Actually, the umpire, he did go to pay it.
But Bailey reading the game very smartly, and you do need intelligent players in conditions like today.
Richard Geary to Aziz. He'll be the villain today for the Borough throng, that's for sure. No 50 there.
Well, Barry Round tells me Aziz can look after himself too, so could be hot.
Is that personal experience? Because Aziz and Round, he didn't see eye to eye on all occasions. Now he's going for his first goal of the day, 98th of the season. He's missed again. Two behinds for Jack Aziz, 4 points in front, Port Melbourne.
Once again leaning back into his kicks.
Yes, Phil. Paul Barlow just jogging around the boundary a moment ago. He looks to be okay. He's just stretching, just gathering his breath. So he'll probably be back shortly, I would think. There's Crimes, though, waiting to kick in. He's played a lot in defence, so that's not a problem. That robs them of a key forward. Crimes heads, well, that's way over Kieran's head. There's a late one from Jay.
Yes. Well, this is what sides have got to realise, that you cannot afford to go recklessly attacking players and risking a 50-metre in a situation that virtually gives McDonald the goal.
Yes, grossly undisciplined.
You've got to settle down. I mean, it's easier said than done, because the adrenaline is really pumping at the present time.
Smile never too far away from his face. Dave King getting in his ear, telling him how he's going to miss the shot at goal.
A couple of words of encouragement, I think not. But he's an experienced campaigner, the Werribee captain coach. He would have been through this a number of times during his days at North Melbourne.
155 league games.
So he'll be well steeled and well prepared. There'll be nothing out there that's strange to him. He'll just settle down, compose himself, and drill through Werribee's first, I suspect.
It is his 48th of the season. Werribee in front by 2 points. We've played in the grand final of 93. 10 minutes.
And what an enthralling 10 minutes it's been, Philip.
Well, Sam, it's had me on the edge of the seat, I can tell you. We don't like to reminisce about the old days, but it took us back a few years.
My word.
And they're still grappling in the square, Aziz and Crimes, and now King getting stuck into a runner.
It's a trainer out there with a
trainer,
water bottle.
I should say. Yeah, Phil, Peter, all day couldn't pick it up. Geary showed a bit of pace. Clever thinking in the wet. Missed by Cullen off the ground. Rhett Bowden was grabbed high. Umpire letting it go. That's not a wise idea.
I thought there was one free there, Ross. It could have been played over the shoulder. There's Paul Barlow. He'll be all right with his composure.
Sexton on the right. Won by Laffey. McMaster gave it away. Klahesi got the hand in the way. Connell showed strength with the ball. Picked up by Sean Bowden. Steins on the half volley. That's no mark. Wrapped up by McMaster.
Good umpiring, yeah. Excellent decision. That is not an easy one to adjudicate upon, that one either, the half volley. But he spotted it, the umpire.
Throw up 50 metres from the goal, and that's Neil Connell. Wrist injury by the look of things. Oh, that was Harkins just throwing himself in willy-nilly. He and 36 other players, or 35 others. Well, injury count level at this stage. 2 defenders off.
Shoulder, I think, too, Peter.
It's a big loss. He's a very, very good defender, Connell.
Well, Wright coming onto the ground. Donald McDonald said he'd start on Munch, but it was Connell that started on him. Wright will have to go on to him now. Here's Geary. Rod McPherson linking up his button. He's got Wright open if he wants him. The pass, a beauty. Now John Lamont can go for goal. It's open.
Oh, Reynolds to the left. It's a good move.
There's players everywhere.
Oh,
he's got to kick the goal now, Sam.
He must kick the goal. You know, he squandered 2 brilliant options if he had have got on with it hurriedly, but obviously got faith in his ability.
He's missed it.
I think that's quite an interesting matchup too, Roscoe, putting John Lamont onto King. King's a real runner, but if Lamont can be elusive and make space, could trouble King.
Wright's gone straight off, and now Power's come on. So a little bit of confusion on the interchange bench there for Werribee.
And Donald got clear. Luke Donald puts it down the corridor. McPherson with a diving attempt. Ooh, and again courage shown by Moylan. And attention for Connell. That must be hurting, getting the jumper off with an injured shoulder. Meantime, the ball with Moylan, inside 50. Stein's run was blocked. Who's roving it? Jason Love, the captain, trying to find Bailey. Back there, Williams, ridden into the ground by Harkins. And Peter Williams will take the free.
Yes,
in defence.
Rather crude.
Peter Williams, who played in the Werribee Premiership in the under-19s last year on this ground.
So if I was Port, I'd get King off Lamont, get him up into the action. Lamont, the tactic is so evident.
A few running repairs.
So yes, Lamont in the forward pocket and King way back on the goal line. Edwards with Rayburn, number 10, and Power. Umpire Nash to throw it up on that outer side. Edwards. Sean Bowden. Straight to Power.
Power on Clahessy.
Yes.
Now, he really cut him out of the game, Matt Power, in that round 9 game. I would have had him on him right from the start.
Exactly, Peter. He's got the legs to run with him.
Clahessy really has been a superb wingman all year, and there's Power getting the kick. Kieran didn't tap it over the boundary.
Another fine duel, Kieran and Button. And there's Connell having some running repairs done to him.
Doesn't look under that much duress as Laffey rucks with McDonald. McMaster knocked it through. Sean Bowden. Clahessy couldn't receive it.
Ooh. Silly free kicks.
Yes.
Richie Rayburn. He was the man that took Howard Cameron out of the final series in the second semi, and there he was into the back of Gavin Edwards, who's had his own injury worries this year with an ankle.
And Peter, these early injury time might be a matter of attrition come the final term. Last man standing.
Rennes couldn't control it. There, 2 times premiership player with Coburg under Phil Cleary. Not seen his best as yet. Missed first half of the season with injury. Coming back from the Blues. Lovely work by Alday, but sharked by Rhett Bowden. You can see a bit of surface water over there from the heavy overnight and early morning rain, but it's fine at the moment. Well, it's an old AC joint, I suspect. Doesn't look so bad, but very painful. Won't see much of him, I don't think.
Laffey got the tap, but it's all Werribee at the full. Geary to Button. Cullen off the ground, giving Lamont a chance. Good handling. His feet just slipped out from underneath him. That's against King. Free kick for Cullen.
Been a lot of silly frees paid, Peter. Players just not regaining their composure after that burst with Jack Aziz and Barlow. And they can be very dangerous.
6 free kicks to Werribee, 3 Port Melbourne. Mark Cullen, the mud out of the eye. He'll kick from 35 metres, 45-degree angle. Oh, might be all right. No, just didn't get over the head of Rhett Bowden for McDonald to mark. Bowden going to King. He can go for a gallop. 3rd year at the club from Assumption College. He's been an eye-catcher this year. Nice kick too. James couldn't mark. Wilson will leave it for... Oh, he gets it back from McMaster. Go again. Lamont to Wilson. He couldn't handle. Rennett's coming in to assist. It's the Port players who keep their feet. Edwards. Clahessy gets shepherding from Munch. Did well to get a kick away. James handled that better. Love calling for it. Over his head. Bailey against Geary. Steve Harkins. Out of bounds. Thrown forward pocket with Werribee leading by 3 points in the grand final of 93.
Port's pace showing out, Phil.
Yes, always to be expected. Good at ground level.
Long throw. Laffey. Love. Rayburn putting the tackle on. Not a bad effort from Jason Love, but back there is Frank Lesipati. Nothing to go for. He's calling the man back on the mark. Umpire Nash obliges. That's Steins. Lesipati goes to the defensive side. Klahesi uncontested.
Poor kick.
Laffey short. Klahesi, well, miskicks it straight to McPherson.
Trying to find Love. McPherson. McMaster couldn't pick it up off his ankles.
Well, the short game certainly fraught with danger in these conditions. Ball handling, a lot of mistakes being made. There's slippery ball.
Michael Tout tagging McMaster. Laffey wins the tap. Bowden. Love against Harrington, almost marked. Throw up in a very wet forward pocket, about 25 metres from Port's goal.
Big jump for Tim Harrington on Jason Love. You can see Love's use of the body in that last contest.
18 minutes gone. Laffey caught by Lesipati. Three points the difference in favour of Werribee. McDonald gets it down. Off Powers' shins, the Rhett Bowden handball. Rennett's with close attention from Clohessy.
Yeah, good play by Rennett's, getting himself in front of, on the defensive side, making sure that Clohessy wouldn't be running into an open goal and forcing the boundary throw in.
Laffey and all day. Clohessy. Laffey. Lost his footing. Sean Bowden. That was a throw through the back of the legs. Let go by the umpire. Donald McDonald. Gave it to Luke Donald from Port. Sean Bowden to Rhett Bowden. Certainly no easy kicks in the first quarter. Donald McDonald twisting, turning. So's Wilson. Great football. Not pretty, but strong.
Oh, tough as you like. Tough as you like in close. It's going to be very hard to get a free ball.
It's not a great spectacle, Philip, but as Ross rightly mentioned, it's a wonderful contest.
Footy moving by osmosis there. Wilson. McDonald almost ricocheted across to McPherson. Tout on top of it with Moylan.
You're going to see plenty of this. Ball being thrown up by the umpires.
Well, fitness will certainly be a factor, Philip. You know that Werribee have played 3 hard finals. Port, by comparison, 1 in 3 weeks.
Smother from Wilson. James away. Good distance on the kick. It's a boomer. Just scraped hands for a throw-in.
Just on the wind. 3
points down, and, well, I think Ross has called right that Werribee kicked against the wind in the first quarter.
Should that pronounce Ross out there? What would you estimate it?
Well, perhaps 1 or 2 goals, because it is heavy, Sam, but
it's picked up,
see
I
the
think.
flags in the top left. Yeah, maybe a couple of goals, but it's going to be low scoring, of course. Harkins in front of Rayburn, worried out of it, and himself got the fumbles. There's Sean Bowden. One of the strong Port midfielders. Their pace, one of their key assets. But of course, negated a little bit in the heavy conditions. Won by Laffey. Quick work from Rhett Bowden to brother Sean. Ball bottled up on that defensive side.
Not a great deal of room to move in. Both sides extremely well disciplined and drilled in terms of their game plan.
Laffey's tapped down to Bowden, had a long time. They're like the Ella brothers, these two. Rhett got it to Sean. Lesipati wasn't spoiled by teammate Harrington.
Being good back there, Lesipati.
This is out to centre half forward. Donald McDonald's gone to the square for the moment. Just to get Jack a bit of room to move.
Keep him close to the umpires, Roscoe. Bit of protection up there.
Now, all day will work against Laffey. Hard to pick that one. Matt Power. McPherson. Little chip. Intended for Button.
If I was Werribee, Phil, I'd be tempted to switch my wings and put Mark Cullen in the flow of traffic. The bulk of the plays over the outer side of the ground. And I'd like to get Mark Cullen involved. One of the better ball handlers and great skills.
Laffey having the better of the ruck with all day. Bailey caught high.
Ridden into the ground.
Well, he came off interchange and kicked a goal. He loves doing that. He's the super sub. On a little bit earlier than Port would have liked today with Barlow's injury. Rennett's happy to gain some metres.
Yes, they're giving nothing away either side. They're not trying to open it up too early.
Play the percentages.
Werribee going for their first VFA premiership. Port Melbourne, their 16th. McMaster's handball, a good one to Watts. Tout goes to the boundary line.
Ooh, it's going to be a slog.
So, Phil, how are Port working their setup? Are they changing their rucks at centre half forward or something?
Just haven't spotted that. Oh, yes, they are Laffey and Munch.
Munch at their 34 against all day. So
they've been doing it most of the year, really.
Richard Geary hands the ball to umpire Agnew.
Play on, fair.
Pushed forward by Wilson. Rhett Bowden getting close to the ball on Hicks. Exciting to Bailey. In towards Love in the pocket. Good work from Harrington.
Yes, those long arms of Harrington be very important against Jason Love. Love's a very good user of the body. The ball's a little bit slippery, but easier for Harrington to get it out of his hands.
Well, Watts played on Love in that second semi, and if Jack Love had kicked straight in the first half, it would have been all over at half-time. He kicked 7 behinds. Clohessie's tackle on McPherson. Well, was he in possession? That's the question.
Yes, I think he was, Peter. Tried to break the tackle.
Paul Clohessie. Steins trying to get in position to mark. Roving is Love. Desperation there from Wilkins. Love always has plenty to say.
Didn't agree with umpire Nash. Sean Bowden. Well, certainly they've got their hands on the ball a lot. I don't know about how many clean possessions to both Rhett and Sean Bowden, but busy, aren't they, Phil?
Well, that's the ground factor, Ross. I think it is critical.
Laffey gets all day out of the contest. Harrington came in to help out his ruckman.
Just not going to be able to set up the players easily as they do on a good track, Port Melbourne.
Interesting strategy employed by Werribee too, with McDonald and Button. Button's been given a run on the ball. He's now at full forward.
Laffey's punch to Leslie Putty.
Yes, you've been moving those key forwards around. Sam running as is up to the midfield, and then McDonald going back and Button back.
I think they've cut up the ground all day. Does the bulk of the ruck work from the midfield back into defence, and up forward is Button and McDonald.
Laffey bringing it over the back to Bailey. Missed Hicks. Intercepted by Watts. Rod McPherson, the Werribee to midfield, trying to clear it out of defence. Up to Peter Williams. He can't clear it. Munson disappointed not to receive a free kick there against Peter Williams.
I think he handballed it away, Ross. Quite legitimate.
Well, it was deliberate out the full then.
Possibly.
All they got that tap, but Sean Bowden takes it. Well, those spectators over there underneath the scoreboard getting plenty of close action.
Getting their money's worth.
That's where the breeze is blowing into that pocket, though. As I say that, the flags have swung around a little bit. Maybe McDonald knew something. Tap down from all day to Rennett's. Munch got down well for a big man.
I think he may understand there'll be a change coming through late in the afternoon. And if it strengthens and we get it, it means Werribee would have the breeze in the last quarter.
Good get, Roscoe.
Fraught with danger, though. The call
My word.
If you're 7 down at quarter time. Tout's handball. Clohessie, good bump from McMaster, but they back up Port Melbourne. Tout's kick. Power is minding Bailey. Leslie Putty. Tim Rennett's getting a lot of possessions. Geary bouncing off McDonald. Throws it out in front of Rod McPherson. He's really getting involved. Wilson. Oh, changed his mind and found Geary. They got the chance now. Cullen, if he can find the footy. Richie Rayburn from 45. misses.
Poster. Good setup there by Werribee. Just a couple of handballs not quite finding the mark, or the possessions actually. Put the player under a fraction more pressure than he needed to be.
Well, it's uncontested. Darren Kieran switches it out to Rhett Bowden, who's running loose. Centre wing.
Very busy.
Harkins. King. He'll go long. Thump. Love slipped. Now he's up again at the back, waiting for it to fall. At the front was James. Couldn't hook it just enough.
Back to 3 points the difference in favour of Werribee. Siren will go any second for quarter time with only 2 goals having been kicked. Of course, there was a lot of time on for that injury to Barlow as Harrington boots it in. It's a lot of Port players out there. There's Rennett again. Out in the full.
He's been working hard, Timmy Rennett. These conditions would suit Rennett. He'd bring...
All in the back half, Sam.
Yes, all in the defensive part. And Werribee have done very well in the defensive part of the ground. They've bottled Port Melbourne up very effectively.
Laffey couldn't get down to it. It's Rhett Bowden. Laffey.
Oh.
One-handed handball. Power. He's down. Ball will go down ground. No, it comes back to him.
That's Sean Bowden. A little indiscriminate with that tackle.
McDonald thinks the ball should have gone ahead. Umpire Mark Nash.
Taking it back. It's paid a high tackle rather than after the kick.
And not the most penetrating of kicks is Matt Power. Good ball getting abilities, but the forwards must get in front here.
It's not a bad hoof. Aziz well out. Spoilt by Crimes. Crimes then tackle McDonald. That left Aziz free. King, good tackle on Wilson. That's in the back. Free kick for Tout. Or is it Moylan? Tout it is. McMaster infringing there, but it didn't matter because it's quarter time in the VFA Grand Final for 1993. A hectic start to the game. It'll be interesting to find out the status of Paul Barlow and whether he'll be able to play again. Crimes went up there onto Aziz, who was the villain early on, taking out the association's best fullback, we believe. But we didn't see it. But Aziz has kicked 2 behinds. The goal kicker is McDonald for Werribee. For Port Melbourne, it's Bailey. Quarter time, the grand final for 93, and it's Werribee who lead Port Melbourne by 3 points at Princess Park.
Sure, plane ticket to Brisbane, have a look up there. Plane ticket to Sydney, plane ticket to Adelaide, plane ticket to Hobart, plane ticket to Perth, plane ticket to Darwin, and drive around in the areas just with a pair of binoculars. You don't need much. Are they wearing shorts? Tick the box. Have they got gloves? No, we can provide them. Tick the box. Are they big? Are they fat? Do they look as though they can bulk up? Alan Bond is sitting on his hands at the moment. Surely Alan Bond could be roped in to entrepreneur this thing up, get Roy's dream up and running. Skatesie's lying idle in Spain. We've got to give him a task when he gets back here.
This Sporting Life, 9:30 Monday, ABC.
How are you going to brief the kid without telling him he's investigating his immediate superior?
Ed's first assignment, a challenge he doesn't need.
Slight change of procedure this time. Ed's going to debrief you, OK?
Okay.
There's the usual secret agenda, and Gary's head could roll.
He's attached. Too attached. I report to Gary. Stick your pink plates.
If you're waiting for my resignation now, you can axe me.
Secrets. 8:30 Thursday.
Late ball. Controversial.
You took off your jumper and started waving and gesticulating at him.
Informative.
Gold Coast, South Sydney, who cares?
Entertaining.
He's been fly fishing.
And then there's crackers.
And you had a grandfather called Pooey.
Pooey, yep.
He was a very tough player. Did you model your game on Pooey?
Late ball.
My local news agency was just using him as a doorstop.
11 o'clock Thursday night, ABC.
Back at Princess Park, threatening clouds, but no continuation of the showers, which plagued us this morning here and has made the going very wet. This is Donald McDonald talking to his team, who have a slender 3-point lead.
Puts his body in, and that's where real courage is at. Right? Courage ain't in sniping, courage isn't at getting after the ball. And of course you look after your teammates, but you get in after the footy, all right? Good stuff. Come on.
Slender 3-point lead, Werribee. But as I said, I think he'd be very happy with what's transpired in that first term. I think what he would be saying to his players.
I don't think we're hearing you, Sam, but yes, I think you're saying that Donald McDonald would be quite happy with what's happened in the first quarter. And, well, 2 goals, and they are the goal kickers. Bailey coming on from interchange for Barlow when he was injured, and McDonald kicking a goal from a 50-metre penalty. That happened in the second semi, Phil Cleary. Both teams got their opening goals from 50 metres.
Well, it was such a fiery start, Peter, and the players forgot about the ball there for 10 minutes. It was understandable. I suppose we see some of the highlights. It's a tough game. Not much space for any players. Not getting much distance with the ball. Oscar Harkins fumbling in the wet conditions. And there's Jack Love looking for the free, but Bailey was onto it. I think the umpire may have gone for the advantage, given the benefit of the doubt, and that was the goal on the board. And the Borough crowd. There's Dean Crimes. Been having a bit to say to Jack Aziz, and that was the 50-metre penalty there. Adam James then throwing the hand carelessly. Was Donald McDonald able to put the goal through? It's going to be a tough old day. The ground is wet. We've had a lot of rain this morning, blunting the pace of the Port Melbourne small players. Tim Rennitz, we see there, been in amongst the action. Rod McPherson always amongst it. Wilson, much expected from him, and there was a big build-up here. The ball there, Cullen fumbling. That would have been in there. Over to Rayburn, just another metre of space, and Rayburn would have stitched that one up. Just hitting the post.
Statistics pretty comparable, Philip, as the scoreboard indicates. Fairly marginal, but I think Donald McDonald will be quite happy with proceedings that transpired in that first term. I think one thing that he would be telling his players quite clearly is not to finesse and just make yardage. Good old kamikaze style football. Get up in the general direction and let's work and assess each contest on its merits, and let's convert as often as possible.
Yes, Sam, it won't be a pretty game. The side that can get in and win those midfield contests and link up, get the ball moving forward.
I thought they had a couple of opportunities up forward. I thought they looked a little crisper than Port Melbourne up forward. They seemed to create a bit of space, as by comparison Port seemed to be congested all the time, and that's obviously, you've got to give credit to Werribee, because they really did crowd that back line effectively.
Well, Ross Booth, injury toll, please.
Well, I asked the Port trainers whether Paul Barlow had sore ribs, and they said ribs, jaw more like it. So Paul Barlow has a sore jaw, but he'll be okay. And Damien Drum asked his players to concentrate on the ball. No silly stuff, hard at the ball.
Second quarter. Vic Safe Cup for 93. Coming through was Moylan. Tout off the ground. Here he goes again. Oh, had a chance to get rid of it initially. Pick up from Laffey was good. Well picked up there by James. Expect the handling to get a little better now that they've had a quarter to settle in. It was advantage played there. Munch giving it across to Sean Bowden. The Werribee players didn't play the whistle. No.
It's call back, Peter. Must kick over the mark.
There was a little bit of confusion there with the umpires. Players unsure.
Ashley Hicks, who played in Port Melbourne's last grand final, along with Steve Harkins when they lost to Springvale. That was 1987. And only 2 survivors. Hicks, the oldest player in a very young team. Clahessy couldn't get back to it. Here's Bailey paddling to Steve Harkins. Too far out to score. Mark taken by David Allday.
Done a superb job back there, the big fellow. Filling in the corridor.
Birthday boy Tim Harrington, 30 years of age today. Passes it to Power. Also playing his 50th game, Harrington. Can he cap it off with a premiership? Power's kick to the wing. Taken by King. Oh, that was a clever kick. Got it away from Rhett, but James couldn't gather it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Whilst it was a clever kick, Peter, I'm not sure it's the right strategy to employ. Would have been far better served kicking it long up to the forwards. It's very difficult in these conditions to pick a man out.
Rennett's second option, and the one he selected was the right one. Powers mark. Streaming down as Richard Geary. Lovely weighted kick. He can go again, Geary. He'll go for home now. No, he goes to Aziz. McDonald. Mark Cullen tried to go back to McDonald. Port Melbourne, a let-off there. They might rebound. James stopped it well in the slot. The 2-on-1. Werribee win out. Oh, Bailey. Some sort of shepherd that was on Wilson, and he's down. Kieran. Very greasy piece of leather. Gets it to Tout. Munch gains some metres. Brian Stynes to Love. The snap won't score. Kept in, no.
Throw.
Oh,
an advantage.
Unlucky, and away go Werribee.
Wilson down in midfield, still hasn't recovered.
Yeah, copped the backhander. Tout. Difficult ball. Love gets the shepherd of sorts from Harkins. Brian Stynes.
Typical goal.
He's done it all season.
He is an absolute master at putting those difficult goals through.
Well, that would have been a goal at Croke Park in the All-Ireland Gaelic final because it would have gone into the net
yes,
for full points.
Full points, Peter, and great play by Jason Love. And Stynes, look at the way he kicks that ball. You'd have to go to Dublin to see it. We're at Princes Park today.
Well, he was a defender, turned into a forward, and he's kicked 40 goals this season. Having come across from Melbourne in the off-season, he's put his team in front.
Power missed it off the ground, grabbed by Cullen around the corner. Geary held it, thought about giving it to McPherson, and then to McMaster. Chose to hold it. Aziz is led short, but McMaster shorter still. Too far out to score, I'd suggest, but wind behind him, and it's gathering a bit of strength. Paul Barlow limbering up on the bench. Spoke to Damien Drum after the huddle broke up. Said, I'm okay. McMaster from 53 metres into the square. Oh, underneath it was Laffy. A push.
From Aziz.
And
silly play, yes. Jack, because that ball, I think, would have just gone through the fingers.
Crimes heading towards Munch. All day did well, good contest. Clahessi roved at the fall of the ball to half forward. Hicks waited for the crumbs, fed out by Stynes to Bailey, who's kicked one. Has it got the carry? No. Oh, Tim Harrington.
The birthday boy. Oh, it's touched off the boot. Cullen gives away a free. Lucky to get away with it. Port fans incensed. Wilson is up again. Hicks wants the free.
Ooh, umpire's letting it go.
Laffy. Out in the full.
Oh, it's a torrid game. Werribee just got to get themselves into the game again. Port are just making a run. The midfielders are getting into the play.
There's
tension.
Barlow. He's just been doing some hamstring stretches next to Cameron Wright.
I think they shared a joke there, Ross. How are the tempers?
It seemed okay.
Any people still boiling in the Port huddle?
No, they weren't. They had their minds set on the job at hand. There's Eric Munch next to Sexton.
Team balance.
Werribee in attack. Dave King with pace. Tried to find Sean Bowden. Quick kick from Geary. Up towards Aziz. Oh, Edward showed great courage. Running back into the pack.
Kick was too long.
Ooh, Cullen 50 there.
McPherson called for it. Kicks it towards McDonald instead. Spoilt well by Kieran. Roving from John Lamont. Goal! It's a goal! They're back in front, the Bees, by 3 points.
Well, that's what he's there for, Johnny Lamont. the goal sneak. Excellent forward pocket rover, reads the game so very well and has got a very, very trusty left foot. And certainly on that occasion didn't let him down. Here we see McDonald leave Kieran from behind, but Lamont off the pack. Superb braving in these trying conditions.
And they've pushed King upfield and let Edwards take Lamont, which is a better move.
All Day charges in, got a bit of a leap and won it. McDonald turned, crashes into King. And a free kick going to David King. Half-back. Lead wide from Donald. That's the target. Oh, knocked forward by James. Matt Power, pace. Gee, that was a throw from mine.
Umpire out of position there, Ross. Definite throw.
He's caught right behind Matt Power. Centre wing. The Rovers' view. To All Day again, doing pretty well in the ruck.
Well, they're rewarding the player making the play and getting himself in there.
Up goes Morley with a spoil. McDonald was roving, tries to centre it. Barlow back now on Aziz, and Jack's marked.
Magnificent mark, Jack Aziz.
Inspirational.
Now Breeze sort of almost directly behind him.
We wanted that too, Ross. I think he really wanted it. Wanted to show it to Barlow.
Now Jack has kicked two behinds. Slight breeze, as we said, right to left. Allows for it too much. Continues its course. And a rush behind. So Sam, good mark from Jack. That'll lift his confidence, but kicking so far?
Yeah, his kicking's letting him down, Ross. It has, in fact, during the entire final series, but that mark will certainly give him a lot of confidence.
Here's Paul Barlow. Now, Werribee have worked the zone defence very well. King has got clear, but he decides to go down the middle, Barlow. And there was three players in the end there, so just a bit of patience from fullback, and things opened up for him. Tout's kick, straight to Rennett. Well, he saw the four players from Port converge on it, but too late. Lovely kick from Rennett. He doesn't waste it. Rayburn. A lot of players in the pocket calling for it. Andrew Button's the one he's gone for.
Mark. Good kick.
He's going to be a factor, Phillip.
Well, that was the breakdown from the kick that resulted in the Port backs being caught out. And Andrew Button, similar angle that we saw Jack Aziz kick from the other side of the ground. Very versatile player. Looking to increase his team's lead to 10 points. Well, he slipped, but it didn't matter. Splits the eye of the needle. Andrew Button's first. Second of the quarter for the Bees.
Conditions ideal for this guy. You know, his strength and also his recovery in these heavy conditions are certainly going to worry the Port Melbourne defence. And a fine kick too by Rayburn. Plenty of distance about it and well read by Button. Just out-positioned Kieran on that occasion. And what a prodigious kick in these heavy conditions.
Laffey outpointed All Day. Off the ground by James. In the way, Lesapati. Wide. McPherson won't have the pace to go with Donald or Bowden, who will do the shepherding. McDonald's come from nowhere. Luke Donald. Finessing a bit. Rhett Bowden got away nicely. Little chip to brother Sean. Another chip to James. He was almost to go. Dragged down by Power. Good harassing by Matt Power. Up towards Harkins. Beat him and Williams. Bailey lurking dangerously. Out to Clahessy. Dave King too. Over the ball, in possession, and over the top goes Harrington. And no free kick.
Good play, Werribee there. Under a little bit of pressure. Tim Harrington did a good job. They all got in amongst it.
Throw up 50 metres from Port's goal. They've kicked one goal in this term. Trail by 10 points. That's Wilson down underneath the pack. Well, he'd be a little bit shaken by that backhander. I think it was Bailey there, just on the right of picture there, that flung out the arms in a shepherd to collect him. All Day tap. McPherson.
It's intelligent playing these conditions, you know, kicking it off the ground, playing the percentages. Nothing flash, but my word, it's very effective.
All day, beaten by Laffey. No free kick for Wilson. He then puts the tackle on King.
Good decision.
Yes. Higher opportunity.
He does break a lot of tackles. That one he couldn't. McPherson. Congested forward line. McDonald his target. Good mark. Use of the body on Moylan was superb. Aziz was led a bit early. Donald with the torp. Hasn't quite got the distance. Button the flyer. Throw in.
Rayburn with James. Two Rovers. Laffey and McDonald. Lamont, can he get on the left foot? King, 41. Locks it up.
I think these conditions are suiting Werribee, Ross.
You think they are?
The physical strength.
Sean Bowden. Barlow. What's his composure like? That was okay. Straight up the middle. Steins caught at the back, had to spoil on Wilkins. 2-on-1. Steins goes to ground. Good shepherding by Cullen. Knocked forward by Wilkins. Now Port. Good work by Bailey off the ball. Got one for his trouble, but advantage to Donald. Harkins in front of Williams.
Free kick. Steve Harkins. 1990 joint Liston winner. Oh, no talking. Crimes and Love. And Love holding his ankle.
Well, that was a sitter too, wasn't it? Free kick to Werribee.
Yes, a push in the face. You saw it to Harrington. 30 years of age today, Tim Harrington gets a bit of a present there. Kicks to McDonald. Spoils Laffey. Button can get it over to Geary. Boundary line wins. Just forward to the centre, Werribee in attack. Holding sway at the moment, 10 points in front. And we've played 14.5 minutes second quarter.
Yes, the physical advantage is probably tilted slightly towards Werribee's way in these conditions, Phil. I agree.
James couldn't grab it. Moylan tackling McDonald. Sean Bowden and then Laffey. McPherson goes in. Saw Rayburn next door. Tried to find McMaster. James. Rennitz. Finally gets a kick out of the pack towards Edwards and Lamont. Edwards got a spoil on. Was good. Kieran dives in it with Button. Paddled out by Geary. McMaster looking for McPherson. Button. Nice work. Geary. Aziz on the half volley can turn. No, he handballs. Lamont, number 2. To John Lamont. Quick work from Jack Aziz.
They made hard work of it, Phil, but in the final analysis, they got the goal that mattered.
Well, they kept it moving forward. They were trying to link up with the handball, and the good thing was the handballs were nice and close. You can't handball too far in these conditions. But their commitment to pushing on, getting the ball forward,
Look at
linking up.
Hesse's tackle. It was
beautiful.
Wonderful, but not rewarded.
Good thinking by Jack, and Lamont there with the left foot advantage. Through she goes. Playing well, the Bees.
Watt's doing a superb job on Ashley Hicks too. Finding it difficult to get into the game, Hicks.
Tap down to Sean Bowden. Love couldn't hold it. Crimes handball taken by Watts. Free kick going Werribee's way.
Yes, Sam, only 2 touches to Hicks' Sexton. Ready to come on for Port Melbourne. Better known as a defender.
Ooh.
Loose is Rayburn in the middle. Heads over Aziz's head. Back goes Geary and Edwards.
Oh, great mark. Under all sorts of pressure, Edwards.
Now, no big man to kick to. He'll have to switch play, and he does. Out to Sean Bowden. To Rhett. Giving it away. McMaster. Laffey. McPherson. In comes Donald with support. McMaster.
They're just pushing Port Melbourne off the ball, Ross. So often when it's tight, they're just able to get their bodies in.
Jason Love, the captain, has been interchanged, and he's going to have that ankle checked. That was from the collision with Crimes. That's Rhett Bowden in trouble. Kieran. Tout held after the ball had gone, perhaps. McDonald was the tackler.
The umpire's doing a great job in the circumstances. This is not an easy game to umpire. Really test you. Players throwing themselves in at the packs and the ball and each other.
Kieran goes towards the boundary. Here's Michael McMaster, most experienced player in the lineup. The kick just falling short. Kieran, he's playing a terrific game with Edwards. They're doing some sterling work in defence for Port. They're under siege at the moment. Hicks! Not the second grab. Cullen gets away from James towards Rayburn. Well done by Cloesy there. Here he goes. Looked up, no free kick for him.
Well, they're doing so very well around the packs, Werribee, and you're right, Phil, they're just frustrating, tackling, harassing, doing the one-percenters so very, very well. And all the team-orientated things. There's Jack Love, and that's a big loss to Port Melbourne if he can't resume.
All day, dominating the rucks, really, I think, over Michael Laffey.
He's a key player, Roscoe. He's a very smart operator. Doesn't waste his energy. Very good at the centre bounces and throw-ins.
Another contest, takes front position. Straight down to Cullen. Couldn't get on the left foot. Got a high one from Hicks. Take the free kick, Mark Cullen. You've got the advantage.
A bit of frustration creeping into Port Melbourne's make-up at the moment. Damien Drum will certainly have a word in that regard to his charges.
McDonald with a flyer. Free kick to Port Melbourne. Barlow to take it. Another one against Aziz. So he's been watched pretty closely. Aziz, there is number 28 on 97 goals. That ton looking a long way away. We've only had 6 goals kicked in the match so far. Michael Laffey. Just got better and better this season. Former Richmond player. Kicks it over the centre wing. That's Sexton, number 16 on. Harkins getting a free kick for a high tackle from Power.
Just ducked there nicely.
On to the left he goes. And he goes to Hicks. 2 survivors from 87. Hicks wasn't in possession, says the umpire, against Watts. Kick was too long. It was looking for Harkins. Free kick for Bailey.
3 in a row to Matt Power. That must be some sort of a record.
Strains from behind. Ooh. He's got the gloves on. He's called for the Gaelic football gloves.
Yes, I noticed at quarter time the trainer dipping into the bag and Brian talking to him, but I didn't know what he was after. So that's what it was.
He's a bit proppy too, I think.
Talk about ankles. Rhett Bowden and off going Laffey, interchanging with Munch. Resting Ruckman on the bench. Through the hands of Peter Williams. Harkins missed it. Williams tries off the ground. Now a conventional kick around the corner to Donald and Cullen.
Gee, that's where they've been good, Ross. In those tight contests, they just managed to win the ones that are 50%, push it to the boundary and start again.
Just can't establish any midfield dominance. Port Melbourne, they've been stifled.
20 minutes in the second quarter. 13-point lead for the Tigers. Cullen's kick. Munch. Not quite. Button, well caught by Harkins. Yes. Free kick, Port Melbourne.
They're unbalanced, Port now.
Peter Williams has got his dander up.
Good umpiring there. Not falling for the 3-card trick. And Oscar Harker's been a bit silly.
Good mark, Ian Wilson.
He's a driver, this bloke.
Had the flu a fortnight ago. Better for the run last week. Giving everything today. No mark for Harkins. Knock on from Williams. Rhett Bowden gets the shepherd.
Munch for the free kick.
Yep, the shepherder was pushed over.
Against McDonald.
Crimes making a lead in front of Lesapati. Munch heads towards Crimes. He's caught at the back. Lesapati in front. Williams quickly on to boot. It'll fall nicely for Button in front of Munch. He's not handling the conditions all that well, Eric Munch. Button long. Into the pocket, back goes Kieran. Pushing the back.
Well, the big guys are really struggling in these conditions, Ross. There's just not enough traction. They can't get any traction off the heavy turf. And just lamenting behind play at the moment. Port Melbourne Tools.
Werribee in attack. McDonald too strong. McMaster. Bowden and Kieran, just a drop of the head there for a moment. It's been all Werribee, 3 goals to 1 in this term. They've kicked the last 3 goals, 2 of them to John Lamont. Power.
Get him in the head, that's a free.
Free to Werribee. High tackle.
Keep it yourself, Oscar.
Yes, well, there's umpire Agnew letting Oscar Harkins know what it's about. Been a little bit careless at times, Port, in close.
Yes, even though it's 17 free kicks to Port, 12 to Werribee, the free kicks to Werribee have been in the forward line. Geary, can he punish them? Won't quite make the distance. They're queuing up there. Oh, almost kicked off the ground by Power. Taken through by Edwards.
And a lot of the free kicks very unnecessary, haven't they?
Yes, indeed, Ross.
And they're not... I know it's difficult against class opposition, but Port's running game is just not working. They're not really trying it.
There's the zone defence. The outriders from Werribee stopping the Port players from leading, giving a target to Barlow. Down the middle is usually the way they go then. McMaster knocked it away. Kieran. Williams. Good distance, but there's Barlow. Too much distance in the end. Now King's free. Now Lamont will try and run him down. No mean task. He gets it to Edwards. Crimes sees it go over right in front of the benches.
Yes, really struggling to put their game together, Port Melbourne.
Just got to hang in there and hope that Werribee tire. Munch against All Day. All Day again. Rhett Bowden, he's had a solid first half. He looked a bit tired. Down goes Power. McPherson kept his eye on the ball. Didn't take clean possession. And a free kick against Bailey. Rhett Bowden is hurt behind play. Ball at half forward with Wilson. Rhett Bowden in trouble. Edwards. There's Rhett Bowden. That's mud in the eye, but he looked very tired just before that contest. Edwards. Crimes is led wide to centre wing, through the hands.
No, I think it's his shoulder. And that would be a damaging blow if they'd lost him.
Well, 3 interchanges next year in the VFA, perhaps?
They might push for 4 or 5 after today, Peter.
Bill Cleary, VFA Commissioner, shaking his head.
I'm only 1 vote.
I hope you're outvoted, Phil.
Bailey. Shot short. Mark Cullen.
It's been very good, Cullen.
Yeah, especially this second quarter. Look at them running. Williams has been in everything. He can kick it a long way. Oh, almost for Lamont. Aziz pushed off the footy.
Should have done better there, Jack.
Edwards has been good. King. Loose man with Port Melbourne now. Adam James. Steins has to double back. And Wilkins takes it away. The kick wasn't well directed to Steins, but wasted there by Wilkins.
Just a couple of signs of Port starting to run. That's what they need to do. Short by Harkins. Overrun by Steins. Back onto it. Cullen did the right thing. Held back the kick and saved Steins' head, I think. Sean Bowden passes it to the umpire. Umpire Darren Agnew. Second quarter of the grand final. And Werribee lead by 17 points.
Good old desperation, Roscoe. Nothing flash or fancy, just attention to detail. Everyone doing their job and reaping the rewards at the moment.
Into time on by a minute. Free kick against All Day. He knew it too. Munch. Almost a Wilkins mark. It is.
Great mark, Peter.
Well,
Front position.
He's one of the tools up forward there for Port slipped over. And that's why it was a 2-on-1 contest. Rennett's over the top there. He delayed that handball beautifully. Geary, Aziz on a long lead.
Oh.
Swooping in, McMaster. Well caught, Michael Towell, holding the ball.
Great umpiring. Superb umpiring.
And
Jack asking for a free kick. Umpire Agnew having nothing to do with it.
Clahesi on centre wing. Rennett's not back on him quickly enough there after that good move forward. There's a lead shot from Harkins. Clahesi goes towards Munch and Crimes. Good effort by Power with the spoil. Loose ball. Port needs something. Harkins wrapped up by 3. Williams up and under. Wilson. Poor kick, but out in front of McMaster. 2 coming at him. Heads for the line. That is deliberate. And a free kick going to McMaster. Dave King is irate. What do you think about that handball?
Well, they were a bit man-conscious, Port Melbourne. It was a bit of a crude tackle.
Dave King, runner-up in the listed. McMaster short to McPherson. Most men covered. McPherson puts it up high, looking for McDonald. The siren sound of the half-time, a low-scoring and torrid affair here at Princes Park.
17 points is the lead for Werribee. They outscored Port Melbourne 3-1 in that quarter. 2 goals to Lamont, roving in the pocket in that quarter off the left foot. Single goal kickers, Button and McDonald for the Bees. While for Port Melbourne, as we see Donald McDonald, the captain coach of the leaders at the moment. For Port, Stein's got a goal in that term. It was the first goal of the quarter. Bailey got 1 in the first quarter. Aziz there, hasn't got a goal as yet. 2 behinds for him, so he's still anchored on 97 goals for the VFA season, the competition's leading goal kicker. But that won't be worrying him too much. His team are in front by 17 points. Half-time, the VFA Grand Final for 1993.
Sunday night viewing begins at 7:30 with Heartbeat. A little boy's friendship with an armed deserter.
Anyway, I'm in a bit of trouble.
Could mean disaster for you. 8:30, the compelling conclusion to the Dinosaurs. Find out what Jurassic Park won't tell you. Why the dinosaurs disappeared. 9:30, lipstick on your collar.
If you were a dwarf, it might make a lot of sense.
As Dennis Potter's imagination goes wild.
Wonderful.
Your Sunday night on ABC. What's got up Annie's nose?
Smells? That's putting it mildly.
At least Peter's French is coming along.
We'll see to it.
Except when it comes to renovations.
But how can you bawl them out when you've got to look up every word in a dictionary?
If only they could see me now. God, they'd envy me.
A Year in Provence, 8 o'clock Monday on ABC.
Well, the ground just being made ready for the half-time VFA sprint, which has been a feature of VFA Grand Finals, either over 100 or so metres or over 400 for the last 18 years or so. It's a 400-metre race in very heavy conditions today. I see the scratch marker is the favourite at 10-9. Maybe some of the front markers might be worth some money in the heavy going. We'll find out shortly with the running of the final. But let's first see how this final field was made up. Qualifying finals have been run over the last 4 weeks, and in the first qualifying final, Peter Newcomb was the winner from David Purdon and the veteran Doug Howie, and it was Doug Howie out the front in the second qualifying final. The front marking veterans set the pace. Eddie Bush-Akala.
But the 2 veterans out in front. Doug Howie it is in the grey. Followed behind him then McDonald it is about to put in his climb. Further back behind him then it would be in the green jacket there is Kelly. But the 2 out in front. Moving up is McDonald. Howie on the inside. Down the outside is Kelly. Now McDonald in front on the black. Kelly in the green can't get to him, and McDonald will take it out. On the inside Doug Howie's there in the grey. Then Kelly is on the green, and right over the top of him was Brad Diamond in the yellow. You can see him there in the centre. Doug Howie is dying. Kelly, the fastest heat winner, can't get to him. And yes, McDonald has taken it out. Second place will be Kelly. And third place, Doug Howie, for the second week is in third place. And the back marker actually was no closer in his heat.
Qualifying
Headington,
3, and this was the biggest win we saw.
Howie. In second place is David West. Headington down the outside now. And the back marker put up a great performance today. And Craig Headington will go down to the line to take it out. Very close for second and third, but I think you'll find that Matthew Slater will get second. Howie was there, and also Cameron Vale at the completion of the final.
And Headington will start off scratch in the final at 10 to 9. And this is why, because he was very impressive there at Moorabbin, and he did it very easily. Now, qualifying final for the closest of the series.
It's very close, and in the centre of them possibly might have tipped them all out as David West. Well, we'll leave that to the judge, because right down the outside, Greg Perrin's another one. Any one of the 5 of them could have taken it out. Well, the judges are conferring. Well, here they come. It looks as though the green was going to take it out. Shackey, then Mowat, then they come from everywhere. David West in the grey, and possibly David West. Mowat is there in the yellow. Mowat in the yellow or West. It's close.
So this is the final. There were points gained during the qualifying series to make up this field for the big one. And to run through the final list for us, Eddie Bush, the voice of professional sport in Victoria. Good afternoon, Eddie.
Good afternoon, Peter. Well, the VFA 400 should have a nice slice to the grand final, which has been a beauty. But Craig Headington is the back marker, the best performed runner. Although he hasn't won a race, he's run second at Stawell in the 400, he's run third, and he's run a fourth. They've always kept him as an Easter bunny, and he's failed 3 times. And now he will run from scratch, and is the form runner. The white, Peter Newcomb, from 6 metres. Newcomb has run 3 placing, well, he ran 3 seconds during the year. The blue is David Purdon from 10 metres, a novice runner. The yellow, Matthew Slater from 16 metres. The green, Gary Mowat, who won the heat last week from 24. The pink, David West from 30, a relatively new runner, but run a couple of placings over 400 during the last season. The black, Peter Kelly, one of the veterans, is on 32. The grey, Neil McDonald, on 42. He's from Bendigo. A good 800-metre runner in the past years. Actually had a unique performance. Over a span of 22 years, he won the 880 yards at Bendigo, and then went on and won the 800 metres at Bendigo 22 years later. And the brown, Doug Howie, who would have competed in more VFA 400 grand finals than any other man by quite a long way. He always gets up very fit early in the year, and he'll be the limit marker.
In fact, Eddie Bush, I was looking back through the 1987 record, and he started back then in that grand final at Junction Oval.
Yes, he's actually, even when it was the Dandy Dollar. They're ready to go. The starter stands them up. Fair bit of activity out in the oval. Of course, you might remember it was just as heavy last year, and the back marker was the heavy favourite on that occasion, the same as this year. But they've got to get to them. That's what professional running's all about. Set again. They're on their way in the final, and Doug Howie, it is the limit marker out in front. Neil McDonald in second place. Peter Kelly is in the black. David West is in the pink. Then Gary Mowat, who probably will finish well in these conditions, in the green. A big break back then to David Purdon in the blue. Moves up on the outside of Matthew Slater. Peter Newcomb, and Headington's got a big job in front of him. The veteran barber from Williamstown, it is Doug Howie that's out in front. Neil McDonald in second place. Then further back to Peter Kelly, goes up to second now. David West is third. Headington beginning to storm into the picture. Welcome the veteran. He's been in more finals than anyone else. He straightens in front, a long way in front, but he'll be dying and they'll be coming home. But I reckon he's got enough lead, and he has. Doug Howie, a great victory, been running for years. In the white, Peter Newcomb will get up to run second, but Doug Howie, it's his day. today. Newcomb will take it out, possibly then the red Craig Haddington's close up, but I think every supporter of professional running would be quite pleased to see Doug Howie, who's run in finals over the years, as Peter just said, and here he is today. He's really streeted them. The official placings, I see them down there now. The brown, Doug Howie, is in first place off 50 metres. The white, Peter Newcomb, was in second place, and the green, Gary Mowat, was in third place. Well, he's got a big break. He's well in front of them. He wasn't in any danger. I was frightened he might have stopped. The old legs might have given up in the heavy conditions, but he never looked like it today, and he's clear of them. Newcomb a good run in second place, and Gary Mowat, but only one runner, Doug Howie, in the picture today. Well, Ross is down there with him, and I'm sure he'll be elated.
Thanks, Eddie. Yes, Doug, you are elated. We put the sash on. Looks beautiful. Grand final winner and a wet day. Terrific. Held them off on that the last few metres.
Well,
now, I know, sorry to interrupt you, but tell the viewers how old you are.
49.
49. Great effort.
Yes. And I'd like to congratulate all the other runners and the TV station for getting behind us, and the handicapper and everyone else. Thank you.
Well done. Is it wetter on this side or the other side of the ground?
Well, it got very hard here. That was the driest. Okay. I think it's because I was buggered.
Okay. And just another question. You ran at Moorabbin. Is it softer here or harder?
Oh, better here.
Better here.
By far.
That's what I thought. There we are.
Very good track.
From the winner's mouth. The ground's better. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I really couldn't believe the odds that the bookies had framed for this final, given the conditions. Doug Howie was at 14 to 1 off the front mark of 50 metres. They had Headington as the favourite at 10 to 9, and he was off scratch, giving 50 metres in these conditions to Doug Howie. I would have had a piece of the action if I'd been able to get down there in time. But well done to Doug Howie. Fantastic to see him. He's always here this time of year. I wonder if he can win it off 50. I don't think he'll get 50 again next year at 50 years of age. Thanks to Eddie Bush, our caller, as usual, for the VFA halftime sprint. Well, time now to introduce to you the Quit VFA Junior Footballer of the Year, and he's from the Werribee Football Club, Robert DeRosa. Congratulations, Robert, on winning the award.
Thanks a lot.
What's it mean to you? And, well, you've played under-19s and reserves this season. A good way to cap off 93?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the effort, yeah. I played 19s, like I said, and reserves throughout the year, but I never thought I'd get the award.
Well, it's a recognition of your sportsmanship, your all-round talents and your potential. Where do you think your football career can take you now?
I'll just try my best. I hope to make the AFL in the future years, but I'll just see how far I can go.
How old are you?
16.
And a 16-year-old playing in reserves against some of the old stages. How did you find it this year?
Yeah, it was quite hard, but I liked it. It was a good experience.
And I know Werribee have got Peter Williams, who came from the under-19s into the grand final here today in the seniors, but not that many under-19 VFA footballers go through to the seniors. Why do you think that is?
It's a big jump from 19s to seniors, I think, but he's coped well and he's played well. He's kept his spot in the team.
Well, you're involved today. You're doing a bit of training, and I believe you got a little bit involved in that altercation in the first quarter. You've put the jacket over the top of your training jumper. Was it you that got the water bottle knocked out of your hand?
I was giving a drink to Jack as is, and the guy pushed me away, so nothing much else happened.
You were close to the action down there. What'd you see?
There was a few punches thrown. Yeah, it was pretty bad, actually, yeah.
Would you like to be involved in the hurly-burly of a senior grand final maybe next year?
I'd like to make it. Really, it'd be a real good achievement, but fighting is not the answer, I don't think, so just play football. Okay, and next year at Werribee for you? I'll see how it goes. I'll see what happens pre-season if I get a chance to play for Western Jets. If I don't do that, I'll probably most likely be back at Werribee. Okay, congratulations on your season and your award. Thanks a lot. Robert DeRosa from the Werribee Football Club, the Quit Junior Footballer of the Year, and that's a major part of the Quit sponsorship of the VFA. Well, there's plenty of ground activity going on. You might have seen, while the sprinters were going around, the kids in action out there in the centre arena. This is touch football. No, it's not. This is the VFA football game. Now, this is one that's been specially developed by Vic Hawking, the VFA Care for Kids coordinator, and it's well, another first for the VFA. They've invented a game, but there are a number of games going on out there. There's boomerang throwing and there's touch football, you name it. But that game of
handball is a unique Australian game, and girls and boys play together. And Ross Booth is down there with the coordinator from Vic Sport, Jeremy O'Halloran.
Yes, Peter and Jeremy, you've got all sorts of sports here. We've got a couple of coaches in the background that people will recognise, and we'll talk to them in a moment. But lots of sports for Vic Sport here.
Yeah, that's right. You know, we said it's part of our role to sort of try and help out with, advertising, promoting a few sports, and we've got some of them here today, some of the minor ones. Touch, baseball, softball, boomerang throwers are even out there trying to sort of judge the wind. A bit of rain around, so it doesn't help, but
terrific. Okay, well, thanks, Jeremy, from Vic Sport. Lots of activity going here. We'll talk to a couple of these coaches of this new game. Jason Fincher from Williamstown and David Callender from Preston. How does this game work?
It's basically a combination of quite a few games, like netball, basketball and football, combining all the skills of each, and non-contact sports, so both girls and guys can participate equally.
Which team are you coaching?
Williamstown, of course.
Are they winning?
Yeah, they are actually. They're back in front. No, we'll be right.
This is David Callender from Preston. You're coaching the netball aspects, do you, David?
Yes. The Preston side. I think we're in front by 3 points at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you better get back there, boys, because I think you're losing control. But new sport, what do we call it?
It's the VFA handball game.
VFA handball.
Based on gender equity.
Okay. Thanks, David. Jason Fincher and David Callender with the new VFA handball sport.
And the kids will continue to do their stuff right through the half-time break. Well, as you know, VicSafe are the sponsor of VFA football. This is the second season that the Victoria Police, through VicSafe, have got behind community football, the VFA. And with me is Acting Superintendent Frank Byrne. Second year as successful as the first, Frank?
I think so, Peter, yes.
Well, the major thrust of the sponsorship through VicSafe is partnerships against crime. That's the Victoria Police and the community working together to combat crime, and a new initiative of PCCs. What's that stand for?
PCCs are our police community consultative committees, and we presently have 90 such committees across the state. And these committees, the aim of them is to bring together community representatives and government representatives and groups such as Neighbourhood Watch and Rotary and so on to identify local crime issues and address those issues.
So that's direct feedback through people in the community to the police. How do those people get on such a committee?
In the local districts, public meetings are held and people are called for to become members of the committees, and they are initiated by the police.
And these people are, what, community-minded citizens who...
Yes, very much so.
And I know there's been some very successful initiatives in this PCCC area. Williamstown, for example, there's something going on down there.
Yes, at Williamstown today they're displaying one of their more recent initiatives. It's an initiative at the Williamstown Beach Railway Station where they are developing a beautification project, and the major aim of this project is to diminish vandalism and graffiti. Students from the Williamstown High School have painted life-size seascape murals, and with the help of neighbourhood watch groups and the local Rotary clubs, they've placed these murals on both platforms, and they're on display today.
So that's making it a friendly area and, well, cutting down areas where, you know, crime can happen around railway stations, which has been a problem.
Yes, certainly. And without community support and participation, crime prevention wouldn't occur at all.
OK, well, thanks very much, Frank, for your involvement, and it's been terrific to work with the police force again this year.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks very much.
OK, Frank Byrne from the Victoria Police. Well, I Want to Be There has been the catch cry of VFA football this season, a song that was written by Mike Brady pre-season. And, well, we've cut it to some pictures from the second semi-final, also between the grand final participants, Port Melbourne and Werribee.
Well, there's a whole lot of things out there just waiting to be done. Well, I don't care about what you choose, but to me there's only one. I want to be there. I want to shout. I want to let the umpire know what it's all about. I want to be there when they soar. I want the world to know that I'm part of the mighty roar. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. featured on TV. Well, that's okay if it's what you want, but it's not alright by me. I wanna be there, I wanna see, I want the world to know that I'm part of a winning team. I wanna be there, I wanna feel, I wanna taste it, touch it, know that the game's for real. That's what it's all about. 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 That's what footy's all about. That's what footy's all about.
Who'll be celebrating at the end of this game? Getting there is one thing, winning it is another. Werribee 17 points up at half-time in the VFA Grand Final over Port Melbourne for 1993. Before we look at some highlights from that second quarter, which went Werribee's way, it's time for the combined VFA clubs raffle draw. I called him the living icon of the game before the bounce. He tossed the coin. Barry Round with Ross Booth to make the draw.
Well, it's Barry Round impersonating Kev the Quip Man, Peter. So there he is, he's waving. He obviously is Barry Round. So, Kev, we'll get the tickets coming down. And Adrian Lloyd, the general manager of the Frankston Football Club, is overseeing things. Kev, you get ready to draw one. Some big prizes. The first one, a Toyota Corolla from Rick Mulroney of Werribee. And while we're waiting, Rocky, for the tickets to come down, is it true that you've asked Ken Sheldon whether he'd like to coach Frankston?
Yeah, that's correct, mate. We've had Peter Hudson in the room today, actually. We have a bit of chat, and he's recommending Ken, and I don't think you can do much worse than a bloke straight out of AFL footy, so plenty of contacts, and we're hoping that perhaps he might be interested in our job.
Okay, with those tickets coming down, here they come. Kev, you ready? Catch one here, here's the first one. Well, whatever you take. Okay, thank you. And the first prize for the Rick Mulroney is Maury Bartlett of Carnegie, winner of the Rick Mulroney Toyota, so that's fantastic. And the number 39327. Second prize for a holiday for two, courtesy of the Queensland Government Travel Centre, a Gold Coast holiday. Thanks, Kev the Quip Man. Second prize, Rocky Oakham for me. It's Rob Mitchell of Blair Hill, number 29260. Rob Mitchell of Blair Hill wins the Gold Coast holiday. And third prize, courtesy of Tiaka Colour Television. Thanks, Rocky. David Anderson of Port Melbourne. Well, there's an omen. David Anderson, yes, there certainly is, of Port Melbourne, number 202068. 22068. So happy prize winners wear in the VFA combined raffle.
Thanks very much, Ross. And Rocky Lloyd from down there at Frankston does a great job in getting that raffle together every year. But David Anderson, and he's won 2 Liston medals, and he wins a TIAC sound system. I think they're the sponsor of Port Melbourne, so that'll go straight back into the kick, sure.
What about the other bombshell? Kenny Sheldon for Frankston.
Ooh. You heard it first, right here. Ross Booth first with the news. But, well, we mentioned, actually I said it was David Anderson. It's Vic's brother, actually, that won the raffle there. But Vic, before the game, said that he thought Jack Aziz would have to knock out Paul Barlow for Aziz to beat Barlow. Well, he didn't knock him out. Barlow, number 2 there, is back on the ground as we look at some highlights from the second quarter, and Aziz hasn't kicked a goal yet. But Port started off well in that second quarter. There's Stein slotting the goal.
Yes, they've really had their pace blunted, Port Melbourne, in the heavy going here at Princes Park. They looked at times like they were starting to get the run moving, but Werribee, to their credit, have just been superb in close, the likes of Williams and McPherson. Big question whether Allday can run out the game. There's another player, Cullen's, been in amongst it too. It's really, I think, worked in Werribee's favour, but you cannot underestimate this Port Melbourne side. If they start to link up, anything's possible. There's Johnny Lamont. Great goal on the left foot. Kicked 2 in the second quarter. That was his first.
McDonald's had an influence across half forward and in the ruck.
Yes, Sam, and that was Aziz after Barlow had gone back onto him in the second quarter. Big mark, but Sam's been critical of his kicking during the year. And again, he was off the side of the boot button. He's a good player. Perfect in these conditions, Sam, as you said.
Yeah, his strength. But I just believe Werribee have done exceptionally well across midfield. I think Wilson, Cullen and Reynolds have been well on top. I think McDonald and Button have done also extremely well. And, of course, the thing we've all omitted to mention, Phil, is the fact that Allday has done so superbly well in ruck. We had a perception prior to the game that Laffey would dominate and release the explosive midfield of Port Melbourne, but that certainly hasn't been the case.
Well, there's the statistics. Werribee have had more kicks, marks, handballs, free kicks Port's way, but it's where those kicks have been paid, and Werribee have got some benefit from getting kicks in the forward line. Not saying that they weren't there. Hit outs going the Bees' way all day. Ross Booth before the third quarter.
Yes, Neil Connell gave me a shake of the head. He's not too good, and no denials from the umpire about possible reports, but of course they won't confirm anything.
Sound like the captains of US nuclear ships. No confirmation or denial.
Port suggesting they're both on Delta alert though, Peter.
In defence, and Tout, no free kick. And Moylan there, number 45, extricating himself from underneath Michael McMaster.
It's a critical period for Port Melbourne, the opening 10 minutes. They've lost the initiative. Psychologically, they're probably having a few gremlins on their shoulders, wondering what's happened.
This will come back quickly. Ian Wilson, fresh shorts, gives it to all day. Edwards has been great, off his hands. Oh, touched off the boot, gives Werribee another chance. McPherson's got it clear. Geary, quick hands. Rennitz. Good work there from Clahessy. Got it to Sean Bowden. King with the mark. Good length on the kick as he goes towards Steins. Misjudged it. The ball just floated on a bit. But you do not want to discount Port Melbourne, because I've seen them in this situation a number of times this season where things didn't go their way in the first half, but they just keep running in numbers, and as long as they keep running, which they didn't in the third quarter against Werribee in the second semi, they will get up very close, if not win the game.
Worth remembering, Peter, that Werribee did beat them at Port Melbourne midway through the season in fairly heavy conditions, so their hard players really coming out on top.
Well, they have a 2-kilogram advantage, Werribee, and 2 years more experience across the side. In the grand final, those statistics on a heavy day might be telling. That's Sexton, 19 years of age, on the right against Frank Leslie-Putty, plenty of AFL experience. Steins rucking here. Taken by Sean Bowden. Now Love, number 32, back on the ground. Cloesy came off his foot but bounced over for a throw-in 40 metres around from Port's goal.
Just need a goal desperately to just get themselves back into the swing, Port Melbourne.
Wilson's kick. Williams happy to see it over.
That's where Allday's doing so well, Peter, at those boundary throw-ins. He gets the knock to a player such as Williams and they gain another 30 metres and just blunt Port yet again, forcing Port to the boundary.
You're just joining us. VFA Grand Final live on ABC Sport, and it's Werribee in the black and gold, leading by 17 points. Peter Williams to the wing. King took it a little bit easily, but he's got good recovery. McDonald got a shepherd from McPherson. Got it to Wilson. As is on Barlow. Donald's handball. Edwards, then Shepherds for Paul Barlow. Cloesy coming in on Wilson. Rennitz. Well, it got to Rayburn. Front position, Edwards. No, it's Kieran who gets the free. It's Button. Darren Kieran, vice-captain. Along with Steve Harkins. Good length on the kick. Fine mark from Rhett Bowden.
Got to get the ball into the corridor, Port. That's what they've done.
Laffy. Love underneath the pack. Steins roving at the back is Wilkins. Spots Rennitz. On his former home ground, Tim Rennitz kicks to touch.
It's a smart kick by Timmy Rennitz. There was nothing in the offering further afield, but he managed to secure another 40-50 metres. More importantly, a boundary throw-in.
Report on injuries in the Port room is that they're all okay. I don't know how much we can believe, but a lot of dented pride was the word I got. Wilson. King will have to fly with Kieran. Both attempting to mark, I think. Off the ground by Button. McDonald goes in strongly. Dave King not wanting to get penalised for holding the ball. Moylan got a trip. Rayburn quickly to Lamont, who's kicked two already. This is a difficult angle. 2 goals, 2 to John Lamont.
Yes, he's exciting, Ross, when he gets a space. You'd expect him to put that one home, but just to the side, just to the left of the post.
Saw him come on from interchange last year. I think it was against Sandringham out there at Werribee. Kicked 4 goals in a quarter.
Exactly. Been at Werribee a couple of years now, coming from Burwood or Vermont, I think.
They break up.
Cement his place in the side.
Yes. Port getting well out from fullback there to Tout. King. James trying to shepherd off McDonald. With a good job. Oh, might be down the ground.
Yes, there's a backhander from Tim Rennitz. Nothing much in it, but still silly play. 3 down the field. It was going out of bounce on the full.
Play goes on. Up towards Love. Power. He's been good. Now can Port take advantage? They can't just at this stage of that break. There's Justin Bailey. Doesn't look much of him, but he's pretty tough.
He's given away a few free kicks, Ross.
Getting to his feet, Dave King.
Not a lot in it.
Well, it was a backhander, but I didn't think there was much in it, but I could be wrong.
Well, we may have to leave the ground with blood flowing from his mouth anyway, Phil, for a moment. Get that fixed up. Bowden, Sean in possession. Out to Bailey. Around the corner. Not far enough.
Been so very good in close, Werribee. Just frustrating and just closing down the runners. No space to move in whatsoever.
It's Dave King. Washing the mouth out. But free-flowing blood in the VFA means he has to go off to have it staunched the flow.
He's going off. Yeah. Oh, no.
He doesn't want to. He's being led towards the boundary. Alday's tap taken by Wilson. He's caught by James. Throw in. 30 metres from Port Melbourne's goal.
Must be a universal rule in sport that there's free-flowing blood. Must leave the field.
It should be a universal rule, but it's not as yet.
Harkins. Off the ground by Peter Williams. To halfback. McMaster feeds it out. McPherson's caught hard against the line. Moylan in trouble. Gee, he didn't have it when he was thrown to the ground by McMaster. Play goes on. Williams. Back goes King. Show us your pace, David. He does. Wally Licken kick to Sexton. He can't grab it. Loses it. Matt Power. Again, he does well. Bailey in strong. Funnels out the hand pass in the way Lesaputty wide. Has it gone out on the full?
Yes.
Penalty kick.
Third quarter VFA Grand Final. Coming up to the 8-minute mark. 18 points the difference. Just 1 point kick so far in the term by Werribee. There's Rayburn at halfback.
He's been good too, Richie Rayburn. Won a lot of hard balls. 11 possessions.
Well, he's tasted the agony of defeat in grand finals. His team 3 goals in front. Geary to Wilson. Kick too long for Aziz. Barlow brings it down to ground for Aziz. Charging back Lamont. Well, he's on the wrong side for a left footer, but he's only 4 metres out from goal.
And he likes kicking goals.
And dealt with quite harshly, I felt, after he marked.
Yeah, not far off at 50, Sam. I reckon if that'd been in the midfield, might have been paid.
We had a look to see if there's any shorts on.
He's going to use the old boomerang kick. John Lamont.
Missed everything. He boomeranged the wrong way. He should have been watching the Vic Sport action at half-time, Ross.
Yes.
A bit of Charlie Drake about that one. My boomerang won't come back.
Showing your age.
Well, he should have done better on that occasion to run around.
McDonald in front in the ruck. Laffey just stretched a little bit. They over McDonald. Wilson's there, so's Moylan. Out to Donald. Luke Donald, that is. Lesaputty waiting at centre wing. Nothing in short in the vacant half-forward area. He'll have to go back, wait for something. Wilson's short.
Put it high.
Aziz is led under the ball. Now he goes back. McDonald, the target. Roving Geary. Did it pretty well. Paddles it towards Button. Kieran. Sean Bowden. Rhett Bowden. Down goes Allday. Good work by the big fellow. Fed it out to Wilson. A high one. Lamont will have to fly. It's all Port Melbourne. Dropped by Kieran. Lamont. Rayburn goes in strongly.
Ooh, there's pressure in there, Ross. Both sides know this is a very critical moment in the grand final. A goal to Werribee, it makes it very, very tough for the Borough. Heavy conditions, not easy to kick goals.
Port have only had 3 scores. 2 goals, 1 they are. They're trailing. Trying to charge through Clahessy. Lamont busy. Tout it was. In front, Steins almost possessionless. Cullen got a high one from Donald and then into the ground by Steins. But a ball up. And Sam Kekovich has his determined look on his face, teeth gritted, riding every bump. McDonald in ruck. Nicely down 2 to Geary. Umpire calling it for be knocked out, but they're trying their best. Rhett Bowden finally clears it from the pack. Lesapati.
Oh, lucky. Probably there, but only just.
Yes, I'm with you, Phil. Our cameraman called it, but John Tuttle. Lesapati with a free. There's a lead from Button or Wilkins. Chopped off by Donald. Oh, Moylan. Allday. He's taking all day to get it. Then he's tackled. It's not clear, so it's play on. McPherson. He didn't have it, and that'll be a free.
There's a perfect example there for young players with all day going to ground.
Rod McPherson, equal top possession getter of the first half with 13, along with Sean Bowden for Port Melbourne and teammate Mark Cullen. But it's not his free kick. It's going to go to Glenn Wilkins. McDonald. Oh, Roving Geary, superb. What a kick! Brilliant goal!
Magnificent play, Richard Geary, and they needed a big one there. Port holding on under the thrust of Werribee, and Geary to the fore. Just snuck through the pack, had it on a string on the edge of the hand. As we'll see it here, gets hold of it, breaks the tackle, nearly loses the ball. And look at that angle. What a lifter.
Interesting to note, Phil, he was the only player running onto the ball. The rest of the players around the pack flat-footed.
4 goals. The Tigers lead. McDonald, what a good tackle there.
Danger time, Peter, for the Borough. Haven't been able to get into the game.
All those tap, taken by Tout. King. Rennett's put his body in there. Rayburn. Tout's kick to Sean Bowden. Cloesy clearing the way for him. The kick's too long. Peter Williams couldn't quite mark. Well done by Adam James. Eyes everywhere. Free kick for Port. Shepparder again dealt with by Williams. Free kick for Bailey.
About 50 metre to Peter.
Really?
What a cardinal sin that is.
Trying to hold them up, were they, Phil?
Yes, I think one of the players just took the ball out of the action, knowing that there was a free kick paid.
Well, Justin Bailey to cut the difference back to 3 goals. A gift, one would think, from 10 metres, 45-degree angle. Oh, he's looked it in the mouth. That horse braying loudly. Justin Bailey too casual.
Well, nothing going right for Port Melbourne, and that was, well, an inexplicable miss. And it may have far-reaching ramifications, that one. Certainly a demoralising miss.
Big kick in from Harrington. Laffey. Reynolds gets a free. They've been consistent on that all day.
It was a great kick in too by Harrington. He put the ball very high to give his players a chance, Peter. Very smart thinking.
Been very good, Tim Reynolds, today.
12 possessions to Timmy Reynolds.
He knows what it's about in grand finals. Won 2 Goss medals in Coburg's consecutive premierships in the late 80s. Teammate Tim Harrington kicked that ball into him. McPherson unlucky not to get a free kick. Cloesy thumped forward by Moylan.
Just not crisp with their hands, Port. They're running into trouble, losing possession, unable to get the ball into the corridor.
Can't get anything moving, Phil. Can't link up. Their good players are down.
Button having to ruck. Kieran Chopped off by Rayburn. Quickly to boot. Big roar from the Werribee crowd. McDonald takes the mark. Feeds it out to Geary. He's clear. He's thrown to the ground.
What an opportunity. Going begging.
Dave King, sorry, Phil. Oh, their shape up in the background as King goes wide to Edwards, who wanted to get it moving quickly. Port realise they've got to run. They're the two, Tout and McMaster. Button separating the two. But it's held up for a moment. Edwards has to kick long. Rhett Bowden, you might have to fly, Rhett. He was waiting for the cross. No man there.
He's been superb, Leslie Putty.
Oh, nearly taken by Wilson. Cullen kept going. Here he is in the same spot. Richard Geary, same result.
Yes, Peter. Magnificent play there. Frank Leslie Putty, beautiful kick to Wilson on the run. Didn't take it. The handball fed out by Cullen, and the Bees are really alive and going to take a lot of stopping. Port Melbourne just falling apart. Don't know what to do.
And it's on in the square, Aziz and King. As we see the replay, Geary on the run.
Jack's pointing at the scoreboard, Ross.
Yes, and also telling David King too much latitude. Geary got away from him on 2 occasions. And totally frustrated at Port Melbourne at the moment.
All day again. McMaster, graining in stature. Here comes Jack. And so is Barlow with a big fist. Geary paddles it forward. McPherson kept his footing. Edwards, Aziz goes in strongly. Feeds it out. Lamont, just wide. 2 goals, 3 to John Lamont. Almost 3 goals, 2.
Players too conscious of Jack Aziz too in that contest. Nearly picked up a free kick from Paul Barlow. The Borough got to concentrate on the game and the ball. Get their running game moving. Real danger signs at the present time.
Barlow. 9 times out of 10, he's kicked down the middle. Tout, eyes out on Storks. Towards Sexton. Hasn't done much since coming on from interchange. Watts has gone backwards.
You're a betting man, Phil.
You'd have your money.
30 points.
Stock and barrel on them.
How many times, though, in VFA Grand Finals has that money been blown in similar situations?
Up goes Laffey. Bobber James. It's a bit of a bomb, not a good one. Steins was in front. Rennitz, nice gather. Steins into the back. Gee, bad tackle. Very bad tackle.
Very casual there, Rennitz too. Lucky to get out of it with the ball.
Rennitz goes towards Geary. Luke Donald, the offender. Dave King finding it hard to believe.
Well, they're caught behind all the time. Werribee working very hard, being in front.
Inexperience too, Sam, I think, showing up a little.
Love hobbles off. On goes another big man in Muntz. Not really what they need. McDonald.
Used the body really well there, Donald McDonald.
Once again in front
of Matthew Moylan. McDonald moves it quickly to Aziz. Oh, Bowden was great. And he gave Rhett Bowden one for his troubles.
Rhett Bowden, 10 possessions in the first half. His brother got 13. Paul Barlow. Not a lot of movement. They've got to run, Port Melbourne. That's where they let Werribee back into it in the second semi. All the runs in the Bees at the moment. Geary, been superb. McMaster.
Yes, he's been quiet during the finals by my estimations, Richard Geary, but he's lifted today, well, especially in this quarter.
Well, Michael McMaster hasn't done a lot in the final series either, and that's unusual because he doesn't play too many bad games. 10 possessions today.
And a good kick, Peter.
Well, this will test him.
Yeah, into the breeze.
45 metres, cute angle. Munch knocks it through. 30 points is the lead.
That pre-match, some people were saying that Werribee's half-forward line was one of their weaknesses, McMaster, Geary, but they're doing well so far, and McDonald.
Correction, 31 points the difference.
Barlow up the middle. Laffey maybe could have knocked it on, chose to try to mark. Fell to Kieran. 2 kicks and it's in attack. Steins, the foot in the back, but didn't mark it. Williams from Wilkins. Peter Williams, straight to Munch. Now 2 men inboard if he can get it to them. He goes wide instead. With 3 out here. 1 Rhett Bowden.
Right there.
Loose. In the middle is Kieran. Can run. Can kick long. Not such a good one. Back goes Steins. And Matt Power won't get to it.
That's not the Port Melbourne we've seen this year.
No, you're right, Peter. Undecided, very uncertain, propped. That's where Werribee have been extremely good. When they haven't got the ball, they've put them under enormous pressure and closed down the options.
Sexton gets it down. Bailey bounces it to Hicks. It's about his first kick and it's a goal. Well, will that inspire them? The veteran at 28 years of age.
Yes, only 4 possessions, Peter, for Ashley Hicks. Not well served by the conditions, but you can see from this a danger player, the sort of player who can kick 3 or 4 in a spot over a few minutes, and they need him in the game.
Well, they haven't had cause to become very vocal during the course of the afternoon, the Borough supporters, but on that occasion, well, they raised the roof off the stand.
Need a clearance from the middle Port, but it's going to be Werribee. Rennett's high one. Back goes Michael Tout.
Courage.
Running with the flight of the ball. Now, are they going to go wide or more direct? Very wide again. Hicks the target with Watts. Loose ball. Edwards is good. Clohessy over the top. Here's a go for Port. Bowden, that was good. Looking better. Hicks, short. Spotting Rhett Bowden. Nice twist. Back towards Steins and Wilkins. And Wilkins all clear.
Well, Wilkins giving Steins a bath. Well, he's left him now to chase with King, and he's glad to see it over.
Yes, Wilkins done very well coming into the side last week in the preliminary final. Certainly the selectors liked what they saw about his defensive skills.
From South Ballarat, Wilkins. I think they've won the flag up there, haven't they? I think it was yesterday, the grand final.
Yep.
Sorry, North Ballarat, Ross, yes. There's the pick-up from Cullen.
Jimmy Buckley.
Geary, he's got the chance. Lamont.
Sausage.
That's his third.
Well, it's been the surprise pack at Johnny Lamont. And lead-up work by Geary. And they're ecstatic. The B supporters sensing victory.
Good play, Geary, Sam, wasn't it? Lamont, not much time, but he's quick and accurate. Port in heaps of trouble.
And they're going to come home against the wind.
Hard to see them getting up, Peter.
Laffey won it. Quickly by Rennett's. McMaster, the fumble. King hooks it round towards Sexton. Lumbers after it. Certainly telegraphed it. Edwards. Bailey. No easy kicks. Edwards. Steins a free kick against him.
They've been brilliant in that last line. Werribee, Harrington, Watts.
Cullen tells him to go down the middle. That's why. Geary. Munch on him. There's a mismatch and a half. Button. Lamont keeps his feet. Button traps it well. Oh, the idea was right because Geary was waiting for the knock-on.
And you see the tremendous recovery on that occasion by Button. He missed with the first knock-on, but recovered quickly enough to throw himself back in the fray and hold that ball up.
Lovely tap by Munch. Sharked by Rayburn. And up and under. McPherson's at the fall of the ball. Laffey. Edwards. Edwards still in possession. On the top is McPherson.
Gee, I tell you what, too, Ross, Donald McDonald's work on the forward line, rucking. He sprinted to get to that throw up, ball up, and then in amongst the play.
Hunched over, gets up for the next contest. Held his ground well. Bowden tackled by McMaster. Around the corner by Tout, over Hicks' head. And Lessapati goes for the line. Big Frank, a little tap from Jason Watts. Port held to 3 goals so far. Great effort by the Werribee defence.
All day. McMaster came in on Rhett Bowden. Cullen's knock. Nowhere for Bailey to go. Edwards spinning the ball back to Sean Bowden. Sexton sets himself. Crimes, good tackle there on Williams rather. So they keep it in their forward line, the Borough. They need goals. They trail by 31 points. We're into the third quarter by 25 minutes.
Oscar Harkins gone down onto John Lamont in the back pocket.
There's Laffey resting on the bench. Munch won it. Jason Watts.
Yes, haven't been much value to them, the two big blokes, Ross. I wonder whether Damien Drum thought about it before the game. All day here, rucking all day.
Yes, maybe someone like McKinnon would be useful in these circumstances, though. Hasn't played much football. Bowden over the ball. That's Sean Bowden. 31 points the margin. Nearly time on third quarter. Well, in time on third quarter. That's 3 goals to Werribee in the term and 1 to Port Melbourne. All day a nice tap. Wilson, did you get that high?
Yeah, he was held and high. Been very good, Wilson. Very tough at the ball.
Flew meant he and McPherson missed the second semi, but they've been 2 of their prime movers today. 18 possessions for Wilson. Free kick for Munch.
See David King, I'm not sure if he's been on the wing for long. He's certainly on the wing now on Tim Rennett, so they moved him upfield, which they had to do. Try to get some run in that mid-zone.
Crimes was the target. All day does it well.
You heard the call to All Day there, Peter, to punch. Playing the percentages, Werribee, letting nothing get away from them.
Phil, how often have you heard a Port Melbourne crowd in a grand final as quiet as this one? All Day will ruck again against Crimes. Going to their 16th premiership, the Boroughs. They've been runners-up 16 times. Werribee have never won a premiership. Runner-up once in 1991. 31 points in front. Cullen. Munch gets a free, no. Comes out to Moylan. Plenty of forward players there, but it's McDonald again. Keeps the ball in.
Been a tremendous leader, Donald McDonald. And if they do happen to be successful, you can rest assured they'll acknowledge his contribution during 93.
Umpire Agnew throws it up. Edwards gets a free kick for in the back.
Tried very hard, Edwards. Been a valiant trier.
Lead from Crimes, but wide again towards Sexton. 2 men there. Hicks could have taken it, I think. Wilson to the running Rennets. Lovely gather. Tumbling punt kick to half forward. McPherson loses his footing. Donald. Oh, he tried to spot a man and straight to McMaster. Nothing going right.
Aziz makes good meters to grab that one.
Oh, the villain of the piece.
Big Jack. Today. He's going to go for broke to an open goal square. I think in the end he changed his mind, tried to pass it to Button. They're coming at him from everywhere. But again, Werribee have the better of that quarter. They kicked 3 goals to 1, as they did in the second term, to extend a 17-point lead to a 31-point lead at three-quarter time. Is it a winning lead with a quarter of the 93 VFA season to go? Donald McDonald, one address to make, the most important of the season. Lamont, the leading goal kicker in the game with 3. 2 to Geary, singles to Button and McDonald. While for Port Melbourne, just 3 single goal kickers, Bailey, Steins and Hicks. Three-quarter time in the grand final for 93 at Princes Park, and Werribee hold the whip hand to the tune of 31 points.
I was called Tinkerbell when I was in grade 7.
Now they're branded Tinkerbell and Wendy, or the Gumnut Twins. But these green politicians can put the government and the dollar in a spin.
The Greens saying that they're opposed to vandalism, but apparently parliamentary vandalism's okay.
We're not power broking, we're simply making a dialogue. We're telling him what we think.
Christabel and Dee, next on Four Corners, 8:30 Monday on ABC. Next on Quantum, A heartwarming story about a woman and a dream.
It's a start on a long road, which eventually will bring the horses back to freedom.
They're Przewalskis, bred in captivity, as rare as pandas, the last wild horses in the world. Now they're homeward bound. Be there when they take their first brave steps to freedom. On Quantum, 8 o'clock Wednesday on ABC.
Late ball. Controversial.
You took off your jumper and started waving and gesticulating at him.
Informative.
Gold Coast, South Sydney, who cares?
Entertaining.
He's been fly fishing.
And then there's crackers.
And you had a grandfather called Pooey.
Pooey, yep.
He was a very tough player. Did you model your game on Pooey?
Late ball.
My local news agency was just using him as a doorstop.
11 o'clock Thursday night, ABC.
Well, there's going to be nerves in the closest huddle there. Can we win from a winning position is what the Werribee fans are thinking. Concern in that far huddle, Port Melbourne. Have to do it from 31 points down. That's Damien Drum addressing his team. Now, Tony Fury doing the talking here in the Werribee huddle.
Lower and lower, just keep it there.
Don't give him stuff, nothing personal.
Follow the team.
Burn him on the turnovers.
That's how we got here, that's how we'll stay here.
Burn him on the turnovers, boys. They're going to run.
Well, Sam, during the three-quarter time break, you made a good point about likes of McMaster, who hasn't really shown out as much in the sparkling things in this final series. As if you look at the scores quarter by quarter, it's been Werribee who've led from go to woe so far, and the last two quarters 3 goals to 1 in each of them, and the goal kicker Lamont 3. Good handling, and he's got it onto his boot quickly. Geary 2 brilliant goals from the pocket. We're looking at highlights now of the quarter.
Well, Geary was superb in that term. Wilson likewise. Aziz here, and you'll find Lamont will end up at the end of this. It's a fine mark. Copped a bit of attention, but unfortunately missed this. Wilkins has been superb in defence. Up forward to McDonald, who's been very good. And once again, Richard Geary eludes the Port Melbourne defence. And they've been very, very good. And the point you made about McMaster, you know, whilst he hasn't been scintillating in terms of possession gathering, his team-orientated things have been superb. The
there
blocking,
he was, a shepherd.
Yeah, the shepherd again. And, of course, Cullen has been terrific. You know, once again to Geary, who found some latitude from King and steered another vital goal through.
You know, Sam, I reckon one of the keys to took tactics at the start of the game. I think getting David King out of the play is where he did at the very start by pushing Lamont right back. And there's Ashley Hicks, one of his rare possessions, only 4 for the game. But King is a match winner, and today they took him out of the game. I think that no one's been able to do that. I know Bernie Shee alluded to it, but Werribee got it right today, and it's really helped because he's been a driver through the midfield.
Sure, and Edwards, well, he's tried very, very hard. Here they conjured up something up forward. Hicks, who's really struggled today. Rhett Bowden, he's also tried gallantly.
Struggled here, haven't they, at that full forward spot. Brian Stein's been done over by Glenn Wilkins, and Tim Harrington had the better of Jason Love early. And there's Cullen. This is a bit stiff. I don't think...
No, handball over top.
Yes, they got it. Lamont kicked it. Great play. And they've spread those goals out, Sam. You've often said they need Aziz, or they're too Aziz conscious. Today, probably they haven't been. No. They've reaped the benefits.
And, of course, you know, they have been aided by a very, very efficient midfield that's got well on top, and they've been far more proficient around the packs.
Well, they're leading in all statistical categories except free kicks. Hit-outs, though, all day, has been supreme all day, as we never tire of saying. He is a player who never gives less than 100%. Major possession getters in the game, 19 apiece to Ian Wilson and Richard Geary for Werribee, 18 for Sean Bowden, 17 for his brother Rhett. Ross Booth, have you found Roundy yet?
No, I haven't, but I managed to find my way into the Port Melbourne huddle. Damien Drum asking for a longer style of play, too much fiddling around the short passes, particularly to men who are unable to run on. So only if they can get a man who can run are they to kick short. But unfortunately, that breeze is still pretty strong, a little bit more down the ground. So maybe that ploy of Donald McDonald kicking into the breeze when winning a toss was a good one. Port up against the stiff breeze in this last quarter.
Well, a 31-point lead. It's difficult to see Port Melbourne having to kick virtually 5-6 goals whilst keeping Werribee goalless in the last term. It's a tall assignment.
32 points, wasn't it, in 1990 that Springvale led Williamstown at this stage in the grand final?
Yes, different conditions though, Peter.
The umpires have done a very good job in what has been a testing game at times.
Darren
maintain
Agnew.
Control.
And Mark Nash, the men in white. Agnew to start the last quarter. 93, Vic Safe Cup. Werribee, 30 more minutes than their premiers. Port have to conjure up something special. They've got to take risks. Look at them running at the ball here. 4-1. Moylan. They'll handball. Bowden, Sean across to Bailey. Kept it in brilliantly. Oh!
Gee, that was a late call by the umpire. Waited till he'd gone another 5 metres. But unperturbed. Can't hear me.
Umpire Pizarro making that call from the boundary line. Power just tried to kick towards the boundary line. They won't want to go defensive, Werribee. McPherson across to Wilson. Geary, his confidence must be just soaring at the moment. Switches it to Reynolds.
Been pretty good, Tim Reynolds too, Sam.
Superb.
18 possessions, done well on the wing.
You heard the Timmy call. It came from this man, Rod McPherson.
Been terrific in close, McPherson. He's certainly made his physical presence felt.
As is saying, kick it long. Now, he's kicked it towards Button. What a mark! Well, it wasn't deliberate. He hooked it, but Button has got brilliant hands.
Had his name written all over that football, Peter. 8 possessions, but done a power of work.
If he kicks this one, it'll just about kick Port Melbourne's can in. And he spotted it. Andrew Button kicks his second, and they've both been from acute angles. Well, this is the situation that Williamstown had in 90. Springvale got the first goal of the quarter to extend their lead to 37. That's what we've got here. But as Philip has said, very different conditions, and the confidence is so much the Bees' way.
Well, they've just done it so well for the whole of the game, Peter. It's hard to see them falling apart now. They've just done it ever so well. Look at this mark. There's a man who really is on a mission, Andrew Button. And that's where they've been good, Ross, sorry. Right in there, where it's tight.
And Michael McMaster up with the ball again.
Up goes umpire Agnew. Laffey won it. Sean Bowden got one high from Harrington. Sticky ball. Brian Stein's lead, won't get that far, the kick. Rhett Bowden drags it under, in possession.
Geez, looks slow today. Lucky free kick. Very, very lucky.
I think both those free kicks for the Bowden boys were fortunate.
No one on the mark. Bowden tries to go long. Push on James. Roving. Bailey. Desperation by Matt Power, has been a very good player. Support there from Williams, congratulating Power.
Terrific to smother that opportunity by Power. Just threw himself at the ball.
They'll be looking to knock it through. Werribee. Throw in.
Yes, their match winners are gone missing today, Sam.
Just big and strong in these conditions. Their strength has really been a factor, Werribee. Body strength.
Sean Bowden's handball out to Adam James. Another throw in.
It's a very difficult assignment when you're playing against a side striving to win their first ever premiership. You know, they certainly wouldn't be feeling any tiredness or fatigue. I remember the last quarter when we played North Melbourne at Hawthorn in '75. We won our first, and the last quarter was almost like
you played
the beginning
for Hawthorn,
of the season.
did you, Sam? I didn't know that.
At North Melbourne against Hawthorn, Peter. But the last term of football was almost like the beginning of a pre-season when we got 5 or 6 in front.
Fisted forward by Peter Williams. Count. Not.
I'm going to say, you run on air, Sam, do you? You can do no wrong.
Well, you do really feel terrific, Peter.
All day. Michael Tout. Can Brian Stones take a mark? Up comes Lesaputty with a spoil. Stones lays on the ground. Tight. Down goes Tout. Rayburn. Caught by Laffey. McMaster. Rhett Bowden. Looking tired. Cullen. Good work for Hesse. Spews out, or slews out to Rhett Bowden, I should say. And Lee looks so tired.
Gee, their knock-on work and their recovery's been fantastic. And Jason Watts has done a superb job. He completely negated Ashley Hicks.
Laffey palms it down. King. Can he spark them? Goes chasing off after it. James handball to Sean Bowden. Watts.
Yes, Sam, hasn't he done well?
What a good kick.
What a game he's played.
And he's done it very efficiently too, Phil. He's read the play superbly, and he hasn't worried about hits. He's just gone and got the ball, which is the best means of defence.
Tim Harrington, the pack. Cullen kicks it out deliberately over the boundary line.
Yes, he hasn't had much of the ball. Watts has had about 8 possessions, Sam, but when you cut a bloke like Hicks down to 4, you've got to be happy with that result.
Oh. Magnificent effort.
26 is Laffey, 14 all day. Tout, he hasn't stopped trying.
No, Tout's tried, along with Rhett and Sean Bowden. Edwards has been very, very good. But, you know, after that, you've got to search far and wide to find another 4-quarter performer for the Borough.
All day. Easily against Laffey. King missed it with the kick. Rennett's just about to sprint away. Umpire Agnew there. Tout gets up with McDonald.
Hey, good, play on.
Cullen. Just a holding game now by Werribee. That lead, 37 points, 57-20.
Well, they'll be just content to keep playing this sort of football, Ross. Defend. And once again over the boundary line.
Well, Port Melbourne, their lowest score against Werribee, 7-9-61 in 1991. Even that, if they could match it, wouldn't be enough to win this game. They've only kicked 1 goal a quarter as King gives it across to Edwards. It's going to beat the pack. Wooden bounce for Hicks. Crimes for a behind. 36 points the difference.
Well, their tale of woe continues. Just nothing going right for Port Melbourne. Ashley Hicks would normally just run onto that and would be the simplest of goals. But it never propped up. He didn't gather possession, and then when he did finally fling it out those Crimes, well, he's had a dirty day too.
Matt Power. Back goes Peter Williams with Clahessy. So the game starting in sensational circumstances when Jackers is set Paul Barlow on his backside. And from then on, while Port hit the lead for a short time, it's been all Werribee. Sean Bowden, Tout, Watts.
Brilliant judgment by Watts. Superb.
McDonald calling for it. Bit long for him. Kieran. Down goes Moylan. Chance for Werribee. Through Rayburn. Missed by McMaster. Back goes James. Harassed by Rayburn. Time just ticking away.
And just regaining that fracas in the opening seconds, Ross, there's no doubt that Werribee have settled down and gained the initiative from those early moments, and certainly Port Melbourne haven't been able to wrest it from them ever since.
6 goals the difference. 9.5 minutes gone. Last quarter, James kicked forward. Power couldn't hold it. Bailey, he's got about 5 metres. His handling has to be sure. He's run that extra pace. He's got a free kick for a push. Well, he wouldn't have got the push in the back if he kicked it when I thought he should have. Trying to get that bit closer, and he must kick this. He missed a sitter up the other end. Justin Bailey. Kicked Port's first goal of the game. He's got that one. 5 goals the difference in favour of Werribee.
Second goal for Justin Bailey of their 4. There's Jason Love looking very disconsolate on the bench. 30 points.
Philip, you've been checking up the records for low scores in grand finals?
Well, there were a couple of threes. Even Sam's old team, North Melbourne, I think got about 5 or 6 back in about 1907, Sam, just prior to your birth. But I think
that was in the VFA too.
Yes, in the VFA.
You're sure your records are accurate that far back?
Tout. Gee, what a point to get another quickie. Off the ground by All Day. Dave King back there. Geary missed with a tackle. Moylan spotted. Clahessie's got clear. Sexton. Clahessie now on centre wing. Sexton beaten by Harrington. Turnover to Button. Could be very costly in the context of the match. A good smother. Intercepted. Moylan. Now can he make amends? Thumps it long. Straight to Harrington.
Well, Tim Harrington is going to be celebrating long and hard tonight. 50th game, 30th birthday, the premiership. About 20 minutes away, perhaps. He's kicked the ball a long way today. Laffey has to go defensive. Now, Wright coming on for the first time. No, he did come on earlier. It's Rod McPherson getting a warm round of applause. So he sits down. Reserves coach this year. It didn't really work trying to play seniors and coaching the reserves. Taken by Sean Bowden. Trying to get clear as Crimes. Held by the jumper. You saw it against Leslie Putty. Open forward line for Brian Steins. Must hold it. Oh, roving. Bailey taps onto James. Power. Good interception. Knock it to Geary. Across to right. Open spaces. This is Richard Geary. It's been Wilkins up the other end. Good play, Geary. No one short. Button.
Superb use of the body, Peter.
Even brought Neil Connell to his feet off the bench. Hasn't seen a lot of action since the first quarter. But Andrew Button, this would be the sealer if he kicks this. He's kicked 2. This is probably the easiest shot he's had. 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. Missed this one. No score. The Borough still alive.
But only just, Peter.
Barlow, right. Until he's fresh on.
Yes, he wanted it, didn't he?
Boom, long kick. Where's Button? And as is. Big fist there of Paul Barlow. So 30 points. 8.5 minutes. 13.5, I should say, of the last quarter. Thump out to Bowden. Keeps it in. Sexton and half back. Nothing in midfield where he could chip it. Well, there was. Bowden ran into the gap. Good play, Rhett Bowden. He's been one of their best. Up towards Bailey and Power. Power with pace. Back onto it, Bailey, and he's caught high by Williams. Keep your head, Oscar Harkins, because Bailey has a chance. That's just a fraction too far out.
Yes, he's not a long kick, Roscoe.
Steins leads now. It's ignored. He's still in free space, as you can see. Now, no one in the square. If he does thump it long, puts it out in front. Crimes flies. Hicks. Well, that was a little bit too easy.
Watts. Percentage football. 10th possession of the man on screen, number 6, Jason Watts, had the big job on Ashley Hicks.
All day down to Wilson. How many times have we seen that today? James loses his footing. Opportunity gone.
All day has been absolutely supreme, Peter.
Well, what's been paid there?
Whether he paid it deliberate, he didn't seem to initially.
I thought it was knocked out by Cloessy.
So did I, Peter, but the umpire must have spotted something that we didn't.
Oh, Sean Bowden, you could see him really pumping himself up there to kick a team-lifting goal. He hasn't scored.
Has gone right from early in the first quarter when Paul Barlow went down. The tale of misery for the Borough. Struggled in the ruck, midfield.
Bit of a pushing and shoving. Moylan. Sean Bowden. Sexton. Got a high one. Clohessy, wrong foot. Crimes. Didn't know where it was. Lesapati with sheer physical strength barges his way through. Darren Kieran. Slips. Tout. Moylan. Bowden. There's a leg there against McMaster.
That sort of typifies their play, Ross. Unable to get that ball into the corridor. Forced to go to the boundary on so many occasions.
Now Steins is leading towards the corridor, but far too short and long. In the circumstances, the kick's dropping short, players getting tired, and there's a fresh one, Cameron Wright.
Yes, he wants to be remembered as being a part of this game, Cameron Wright.
Thumping kick too. Laffey will fly underneath it, almost by Kieran. McDonald tackling, Cullen pulled off the ball by Laffey, and Donald McDonald wraps the ball underneath Darren Kieran. Look at Matthew Moylan, exhausted as he drags himself up. So too McDonald. He looks dog-tired, but he still contests. McDonald. You can see him bent over there, leaning down Donald McDonald. He'll sleep well tonight, but he probably won't want to. The way things are going. The Werribee crowd coming to life. Not forward by all day.
He really has been superb, Donald McDonald. He's led from the front.
17.5 minutes past. Final term. Werribee going for their first ever premiership. Right from McDonald. Laffey, Sean Bowden. Lucky they've had those two. Dave King. Off the ground by Luke Donald. Peter Williams going at it. Bailey, been pretty good too. Crimes. Oh, free kick, no. Power. Run down by Bailey. Harkins. Rayburn. Out to Peter Williams. He'll just shock it to Wright, which is good, and Wright thumps it high.
As is against Barlow. McMaster flipping it over the top. Button.
Clever play by McMaster. Great vision and beautiful execution. Spotted Button, who outmanoeuvred his opponent Kieran. And this is probably the third time in this term.
6 marks too, Sam.
Yeah, McMaster, he had a look and found his man. This to put the nail, the final one in the port coffin. It has got it. No, grazed the post.
Grazed it, you're right, Peter. Barely grazed it.
Been a good day all the same for Andrew Button. Edwards.
Yes,
went back
to
for
go
his
back.
Kick. Yep. Goes towards Kieran, who's got 3 to beat. Button there and leaving it for Wright.
Often the copper in defence in that early final, but certainly atoned.
Rayburn got the first kick of the match, and there he is finding Geary. I think I'd have a shot if I was Richard Geary. I think he'll kick this. Got the breeze coming from right to left to help it through.
22 possessions for Richard Geary. A big day in the grand final.
Oh, he went for the torpedo. Spills from Moylan to King.
It's been a rare sight. King running.
He's going laterally there. McDonald. Well, whether it's JC or Ella looking down benignly on the bees, they've come through. And this man in his first year as a senior coach is going to lift the premiership cut. Button out to Geary. He's weaved his way through.
Oh, Blossom Geary.
There it is. His third goal. Werribee are premiers for 93.
And look at the look of elation on Richard Geary and the other Werribee players. By contrast, the forlorn figures of Port Melbourne players. And they'll be certainly soaking up this atmosphere. Been terrific, Richard Geary. An opportunist role. He's played to perfection.
Laffey taps it through to Clohessy. Harkins gets a free kick.
She's been quiet, Oscar Harkins.
Wide towards Hicks, in the way Sean Bowden. Missed a couple of minutes ago. Not quite such a tight angle. Steins is led short, deep into the pocket, but he's ignored. Only 5 goals to Port. Up goes Crimes at the back. Harkins. Finessing for a free. James.
Four goals. Ross, they've kicked.
What do I say?
5.
Good on.
It's the lowest grand final score ever. Unless they can get a rattle on. Hicks. Williams tapping it through to Harrington. Quick hands to Wright. The wrestle between Donald and Geary. McMaster gets it to Richard Geary. Quite happy about the scrubby little kick. In second division, I got Geelong West kicking 5-15. I can't see any worse than that. Port Melbourne kicked 7 goals 12 to lose to Williamstown in 1954, but the conditions have not suited them. Very heavy going. And out comes the Vic Safe Cup. Last year, lifted up by Sandringham. Werribee just minutes away from their moment of glory. Harkins kicking it to Steins. He's way down in the middle. Goes for Ashley Hicks. He's outmarked Watts for the first time.
Yeah, you'll be right there, Pete. He's had a lean day, Phil, hasn't he?
Yes, you've had a lot of Werribee players who've just done enough. Done more than enough, in fact. Stars don't come to mind quickly. But, sorry, Watts has been one of those players who's had a big job to do, and he's done it really well.
Hicks, 1 goal 1. And look at resignation on the face of Jason Love, who has got an ankle injury, and that's why he hasn't taken much part in the second half.
Harrington finds Wilson. How easily he got away. Running was right. Strong mark. On he goes. Out in front of Jack Aziz. Barlow, that's more second semi-final style. Oh, that's a missed kick. Through comes Donald McDonald. Great desperation. He'll put in the shepherd for Jack Aziz now. Well done, Donald McDonald. Aziz to right. Centre wing. Hooks it back. Geary. And over the line, the very tired Matthew Moylan.
McMaster fisting it on. Now Moylan going for the boundary line. Well, Tout and then Moylan knocking it over. Well, the past 2 years, the team that finished 6th the season before went on to win the premiership. It's not going to be the case this year. Dandenong did it in 91 against Werribee. Sandringham did it last year against Williamstown. But Werribee are going to hold off Port Melbourne, who won 6 of their last 8 in 92 under Doug Searle. Then under Damien Drum won 8 in a row to start this season before Werribee stopped their run in round 9. They're only beaten once more after that. The third to defeat is going to be the one that hurts. Edwards to the vacant outer side of the ground, and to save everyone embarrassment, it runs over, because if it had stopped,
I don't think
would have been a while before someone came into shot to pick it up.
But what a superb performance to hold this talented side to just 4 goals in a grand final. It really is a terrific effort.
Oh, there's a good one on behind play.
It's up on centre wing.
It's Power and Bailey, is it, who've been at each other for the last couple of minutes.
Well, this is not going to achieve a single thing.
Yeah, they're the two who started all that.
There's another 1 or 2 going on.
Get on with the game.
Ridiculous stuff.
Well, the umpires are. Oh, it's still going on.
Well, Dean Crimes, a couple gone after him.
Laffey has got nothing to kick to. Run, play on, play on. And all Werribee here. Rennett's beautiful kick on the left boot. Here's insult to injury. Injury to insult. Goal for Rayburn. Has the siren gone?
No.
I think it has.
No, I think a few people have gotten a bit excited, but I don't think so, Peter.
Oh, the zizzers down up there. Oh, this is nasty. Because the crowd are all on, and I'm not sure that the game is over. I know the players started saluting even before Rayburn had kicked that goal. Well, this is a shambles. The finish of the grand final. And how many times has this been the case at Princes Park that the siren hasn't been heard? But only 26 minutes gone, so it can't have been blown.
This is just disgraceful, this is.
They can't throw the ball up.
Well, look, unless these spectators get off the ground, the siren definitely hasn't gone. Well, Rayburn has kicked a goal, and the difference is 7 goals in favour of Werribee. So they've got it won, but the final scene hasn't been enacted as yet.
Police involved. I think Jackers was decked behind play.
These are just appalling scenes here at Princes Park.
Oh.
And look at that. You know, some brave person that's running from behind. Well, this, I really feel for the VFA, who have worked so hard to ensure that these scenes are no longer prevalent as they were in years gone by.
Well, some culprit's been nabbed there, but I don't think he was the only one. Disgraceful is the only word for it.
Well, there are a couple of
spectators should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, I think the spectators may have thought the siren had gone. There were a couple of players there, Peter, who should not have done what they did. It was idiotic. Behaved like absolute dills. I mean, the real courage is getting the football, not running around shaping up to punch up with blokes. I mean, that's kid stuff. Absolute kid stuff.
Exactly right, Philip.
Well, the scoreboard says it all.
You know, spoil a great exhibition for the VFA.
42 points. It's been a demolition here today by Werribee on Port Melbourne, who'd only lost twice for the season. They finished 1 and 2 on the ladder, and 2 is going to come out on top. But, well, we've got another 3 or 4 minutes to play yet. There's still spectators on the ground and can't hardly restart the game. This is dangerous.
Oh, they cannot start the game. That is idiot.
There's horses on the ground. Well, there's Hicks calling for it, running into the goal square from Munch. Total disarray here at Princes Park. Hicks in danger.
Well, I wouldn't know where to begin to describe. There's so many scenes. It's absolute pandemonium reigning here at the moment.
Well, Power, don't kick it out on that outer side of the ground. Oh, no. They're going to go right into the throng. I think they've decided to call it off. Werribee, deserved premiers for season 1993. And there he is, Donald McDonald. He's the one that's going to be chaired, I suspect. The captain coach has led from the front all season in his first year as a senior coach. And the Tigers have won their first ever premiership in the VFA. And for Port Melbourne, the 17th time they've been runners-up.
And isn't it a wonderful side? Donald McDonald, well, he's breathed a breath of fresh air into the VFA this season with his honesty, integrity, and he's just gelled this side together, who have been a much maligned side too, Philip. They've embarked on massive recruiting sprees, been guilty of paying top dollar for the wrong player. But under Donald McDonald, they made a hard, stringent policy that we're going to experiment with the young ones. We're going to reward the performers and the youngsters, and he's reaped his due rewards.
We'll get Phil's reaction shortly, but the birthday boy, Tim Harrington, with Ross Booth.
Well, Tim, happy birthday. Thanks very much. First ever. 31st ever.
Oh, I'm wrapped. Yeah, just a great effort. Yeah, spoiled at the end, but that was out of our control. We just played footy and we ended up doing the right things.
It was a shame, but fantastic and a difficult run through the finals, but you're obviously confident all the way.
Yeah, we showed a lot of character all the final series and just topped it off today. Just the greatest feeling you can have.
Let you go. Thanks, Tim.
Well, Tim Harrington played in a premiership under you, Philip, at Coburg?
No, he didn't, Peter. No, he came after the premierships. But it was a pleasure to coach as a player. He had 2 years at Coburg. And they did a big job today in the back line, picking up Jason Love. And there you can see all the boys very excited. Disappointing the way the game finished there, with spectators on the field and a few blokes showing a bit of Dutch courage.
Jackers is there, the association's top goal scorer, finished with 97 for the second consecutive year in a grand final. He's been goalless, but he kicked 13 goals in the final series, and they've won 3 out of 4 in the final series. Werribee to win it. Port Melbourne 1-1. They've lost the one that counts. Getting applause from their loyal fans. But, well, that's going to be eating away at them. They lost just 2 games all season, and they've lost the grand final. It'll eat at them all through summer. Maybe they can make amends next year.
And we shouldn't really harbour on this, but the incidents that took place towards the latter part of that final term, I guess the one fellow that would feel terrible about the whole thing is Damien Drum. Knowing Damien, he would be absolutely appalled by the incidents. And he would be feeling bad enough as it is.
I just wonder what prompted the invasion. I know that the Werribee players stopped and were saluting as if the siren had gone. Tim Reynolds has played in a 3rd grand final victory. Ross Booth has got him.
Well, 3. Is it just as good, Tim?
Oh, well, they're all the same. They're all good.
They're all good.
Yeah, bloody really good. Bit unfortunate, that little bit at the end there.
Clearly, the players didn't think the siren had gone.
No, just
unfortunate crowd invasion. Yes, it took the gloss off it, didn't it? A marvellous win.
Takes the gloss off it, but I think we'll catch up later on.
Yeah, so well worth the transfer, and slow start to the season for you.
Slow start, but good finish.
Back on the old home ground.
Good lot of blokes. We sort of, we never gave up all year, even when we did lose. So we've done well.
What did Don McDonald do this week in terms of tactics and strategy and legs? Because you must have been very tired up those games that were up.
Oh, we just had, it was pretty wet during the week. We just had a couple of short sessions, and our legs. It showed today we're in at the ball pretty hard. So.
Yeah. You made history! Okay. Tim Reynolds, a gentleman as ever, but Sam, Phil, what could you expect from a boy from Yamurka?
He certainly did play a tremendous game. He blunted that Port Melbourne midfield, got well on top, and
I thought he lit Sam, for the big one. He's just one of those sort of characters, one of those sort of players.
Well, let's go down for the presentations in the 1993 Vic Safe Cup.
And we just move back in the front. Thank you.
I don't know what the Premier will make of his outing to the VFA, Peter.
Yeah, just right here.
Well, we saw Nick Walsh in the background there. Injury has really robbed him of a more active role in this grand final victory, but he played his part through the season. Hayden Toomey, the executive director of the VFA, is preparing to orchestrate proceedings. But Donald McDonald, what a performance it's been, Sam. You hit it on the head. A breath of fresh air he's been. And, well, congratulations to Werribee in recognising his potential as a coach, and he hasn't let them down. Ross Booth.
Well, Bruce Montgomery, the president of the Werribee Football Club, after all those years, finally, a First Division premiership. Of course, you won some Second Division premierships. So how many was that?
No, never won a senior premiership.
Never won a senior.
It's our first, and that's why it's so sweet. Our blokes have been focused all year on today, really. I know Port were top side. They only lost 2 games, but they lost them both by 9 goals. We never lost a game by more than 3, and I really did feel we'd win. Our blokes felt we'd win, and as it turned out, we were more focused on the day. We went hard at the ball, and I think they may have lost the plot a bit.
Okay, well done, Bruce.
Thanks,
it's time
mate.
for the presentation.
It was great.
I'd just like to thank Port Melbourne Footy Club for a good, hard, tough game. I mean, that's what grand finals are about. And I'd like to thank all the Werribee people, and thanks for coming out. I mean, it's been a long time coming, this premiership, and first one's always the best one, but I just want you people to get behind us and we'll keep marching on. And to the players, this is ours, boys. We're going to party tonight. And all the blokes, and to all the players that missed out and just kept training, this is yours as well. And to Monty, Turtle, Kirk, the community, this is ours, and the supporters, yes!
Well, the cup now being handed around amongst the players.
If I could have your attention again, please, to present the Norm Goss Medal and the Vic Safe Man of the Match Award. Would you please welcome Deputy Commissioner Brendan Crimmins to present the award. To David Allday.
Congratulations, David. Great game.
David also gets the Mazda car for the week. Well done, David. Now, to present the individual replica premiership tops, the President of the VFA, Mr. Tony Hanbury. Number 1, David Allday. Jack Aziz. Jack Aziz.
Jack might have already started celebrating, but Jack is the king. Didn't quite get the 100 goals, though.
Andrew Button.
Shiner there for Jack. Button was superb. No one marked the ball better today than Button.
No, he made light of the heavy conditions, Peter.
I like this innovation of the replica cups.
Yeah.
Neil Connell, shoulder injury for him early on. But I'm sure when Brunswick Broadmeadows folded, he didn't think he'd ever taste a premiership.
Mark Cullen.
One of their best players through the final series. Player of the game in the preliminary final. Geary, all class today. Kicked some telling goals.
Tim Harrington.
Well, when they won last week, he was an integral part in that, going into the ruck, and no one was more delighted when they won through. He was really savouring this.
John Lamont.
Lamont, he was the goal sneak, wasn't he? 3 goals for him, roving the packs. Deadly finishing.
Frank Lazapati.
And looks like the littlest Leslie Putty is up there.
Got the number right.
Hitchy, you're going to feed the horses tomorrow.
Someone's got to feed the horses tomorrow. Hinchy. Oh, I don't know that Darren would be into feeding horses.
Coach Donald McDonald.
Well, the hero of the western suburbs, really.
Michael McMaster.
And McMaster, the mixer. Most experienced player in the Werribee outfit. That must feel good. McPherson had a bit of a rest towards the end of the game, but he'd done his work. Matthew Power, he's a real goer. Had a fine grand final.
Richie Rayburn.
He put in 4 quarters.
Tim Rennett and his 3rd VFA Premiership side. Well done, Timmy.
Back where he played his AFL stint here at Princes Park.
Jason Watts.
The job he did, Philip.
Yes, on Ashley Hicks, one of Port's real match winners. Number 6, there he is. A real good bloke too.
Peter Williams.
Well, what a performance. Williams.
What a back line, Peter.
Mark McGoldrick's under-19 Werribee Premiership side last year. Now, Donald McDonald's senior Premiership side. Oh,
the driver.
What an important return he made to the team after flu. Wilkins from North Ballarat 2 seasons ago.
Cut Steins out.
Cameron Cameo Wright.
Cameron Wright on and off interchange.
Probably had about 5 possessions in the last quarter, Cameron Wright.
Yeah, it looked like he could have gone another 4 quarters.
9, in fact, Peter.
Oh, dear.
Well, thank all the supporters for the whole year. Times are tough, middle of the year. It all stuck with us. We missed in 91, but we got it this year. Don't worry about that. And everyone back to Centenary Hall tonight. United!
And I wouldn't give him the microphone tonight. You might not get it back.
Once he gets over his shyness. Assistant coach Tony Fury.
Well, Fury it was who addressed the players at 3/4 time when they were 31 points up. They extended their lead at every break. 3, 17, 31 and 42. Dennis Davies and Tony Fury, I'd like to thank them for the assistance they've given us this year in doing the pre-game interviews when Donald McDonald hasn't been available. Dennis Davies doesn't want to go up and get his award. Even the runner gets a replica trophy.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations to the Werribee Football Club on the 1993 Vic Safe Premiership.
Hayden Toomey, Association Executive Director, now Ross Booth, with
if you can
Donald
just give
McDonald.
some room, the guys can do a lap of honour.
Just before they do a lap of honour. Time on last week, I don't suppose. You did say you felt you could get this.
I thought if Springbolt had got there, maybe I reckon they might have done it as well. And the guys just stuck at it, had a team plan, played the percentages, and it came out.
We must say you've been a fresh air in terms of coach. All the coaches have been good, of course, your enthusiasm and access, and congratulations. The players obviously responded to that.
As I said, I'm just rapidly playing and having a dip, and things have worked out all right today.
Okay, terrific. Well done, Donald. Congratulations.
No, it's Roscoe.
Well, it's on at Centennial Hall in Werribee tonight, and it will be like that for the next week, I'm sure. They'll close down the Geelong Road, I think. Port Melbourne, commiserations to them. They still have their function back at the Port Ground, and I'll just use this opportunity to mention a big function at the Town Hall at Port Melbourne, 6:30 this Wednesday night. Jack McFarlane, one of the stalwarts of the association, retires after 47 years in just about every position there is at Port Melbourne.
Jack.
So that's one highlight for them. But on behalf of Sam Kekovich and Philip Cleary, thank you one and all for tuning in to VFA Football on ABC Sport this year. It's been a tremendous season, and all we can do, fellas, is congratulate Werribee. They got there and they did it.
Well, deserved winners, weren't they,
yes,
Phil?
They did all their homework right, Sam. Their matchups were perfect. Cut some players out. Tremendous performance. Big credit to this bloke on screen, Donald McDonald. What a spark he's been.
Peter G, on behalf of Ross Booth, Alan Pridmore, our executive producer, and all the ABC VFA team, wishing you all the best for the rest of 93. Looking forward to your company again in 94.